Sema wewe ni introvert. Guys, amesema yeye ni introvert, lakini amesema nisiwaambie. Wewe kaka unaitwa na?
Naitwa Mose.
Mose, unatoka wapi?
Natoka Nai.
Amesema anaitwa nani? Mose anatoka wapi? Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Julie.
Hii sauti. Tunaweza rudia? Turudie. Acha tuanze. Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Julie.
Ako single. Uko single?
Vibaya sana.
Huyu amesema ako single vibaya sana.
Huyu tumpatie mtu wangu, ama unaonaje?
Ama tuambie askofu akuombee nyota irudi.
Apewe mtu saa hizi tu mara moja, story inaisha.
Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Julie.
Julie, umetoka wapi?
Natokea Lurambi.
Amesema anaitwa nani? Julie, ametoka wapi? Hii upande imelala sana. Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Sina jina.
Ati una jina? Huyu anaitwa huna jina. Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Winnie.
Anaitwa Winnie. Huwezi toa venye unaimba. Ama talent, ama niko. Huna talent. Sama uko na talent. Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Enya.
Enya, unatoka wapi?
Natoka Lurambi.
Amesema anaitwa nani? Enya, anatoka wapi? Wewe dada unaitwa nani?
Zile.
Sema tu jina.
Naitwa Lilian.
Anaitwa Lilian. Uko?
Hapana.
Huyu ndio nilikuwa nimemark. Ladies and gentlemen. Unaitwa nani?
James.
Unaitwa James. Unatoka wapi?
Lurambi.
Lurambi ni kubwa. Lurambi wapi? Koromatangi. Ni kule tunasema tunaona dust ama? Fundi wangu wa mitambo, umelala kidogo.
Atakuwa anakuja muda sio mrefu.
Atakuwa anaingia muda si mrefu.
Kabisa, tuko na our patron, utamuita Dr. Fred Akama.
Dr. Fred Akama.
Unamtambua kweli?
Huyo namtambua.
Atakuwa anakuja muda sio mrefu. Tuko na OGW, Bwana Daniel Ndambuki. Churchill atakuwa anakuja muda sio mrefu.
Sasa hapa ni kucheka. Naona watu wa Churchill wakicheka. Mimi nataka leo nichekeshe.
Unasema leo hapa ndani itakuwa imeisha.
Mimi nataka mbavu zangu zivunjike leo.
Unataka zivunjike?
Nimezunguka hivi naona VC atakuwa around by the way.
Aha. Mtongo pia tuko na mtu mwingine. Fred Omanyala.
Kuna watu wa mbio hapa.
Watu wa 100 meters.
Watu wa 100 meters.
Watu
100 meters. Sitaki kuwataja mseme niko tribalic.
Kabisa.
Sijataja mtu. Watu 100 meters. Kuna watu 100 meters hapa. Tutakuwa pale na Omanyala.
Yeah, we also have Ann Njogu, broadcast journalist, atakuwa anaingia muda sio mrefu.
Ann Njogu. Huyo msichana anasumbua sana mitandao.
Unasema Shindu maridadi, msichana mrembo sana.
Mrembo sana.
Atakuwa anakuja.
By the way anakuanga crushi.
Unasema leo utamwambia ukweli kutoke.
Unaweza kuwa na links. Like namba yake hivi.
Namba yake usikuwe na wasiwasi, usikuwe na
wasiwasi. Ni 07 wenye wanaandika namba ya Ann Njogu.
Hiyo sio namba yako?
Hiyo si yangu.
Unasema ni ya Ann Njogu.
Kila mtu atoe simu yake tafadhali.
Yes, toa simu uchukue namba yake.
Sadfa utaki Ann Njogu.
Sadfa.
Sadfa 254.
Aha.
Alafu unaona pale King Sama.
Kabisa. Mtu wangu pia naona Evelyn Wanjiru pia atakuwa anakuja muda sio mrefu.
Kutakuwa na Evelyn Wanjiru.
Unamjua?
Unasema leo tunashushwa tu.
Leo tunashushwa tu mtu wangu. Tunapeleka majuu tunaanguka nayo.
Sawa, nipe next artist mwenye anaingia kwa flow.
Tuko na Sara Machio.
Sara Machio
akiwa ni incubator manager.
Incubator manager.
Atakuwa anakuja muda sio mrefu. Nimeambiwa kwamba washawasili Kakamega. Rambi Sub County Share Award wako hapa, wako around.
Na nimesikia kuna surprise.
Aha, kuna surprise vile.
Kuna surprise sitaitaja. Hiyo jieke.
Na hizi niseme lakini acha niwache.
Hiyo hufai kusema. Kwa hiyo poster hakuna mtu mmoja, kuna surprise.
Kuna surprise.
Kuna surprise.
Kabisa.
Mwenye anaweza guess.
Huyu mtu akigesi huyu tunampatia zawadi.
Mimi ukigesi hiyo surprise tu.
Acha nijaribu huko mtu wangu.
Kulipia.
Tupatiane hint. Mtu wangu, kuna hint ama hakuna kupeana hint?
Usipiane hint.
Nisiguze mrima.
Juu ni surprise.
Surprise. Aha.
Hadi wewe ukienda surprise dem yako.
Yes.
Sijasema uko na dem lakini
mimi sina.
Nimesema kwa mfano.
Kwa mfano kama niko na yeye.
Kwa mfano kama uko na yeye.
Aha.
Umeenda kumsurprise pale. Wewe unampea hint ama
umwambie kitu umwambie.
Unamletea. Ndio?
Kabisa.
Bas.
Acha mtu wa guess akipata. Tunapatia yeye
zawadi. Muda si mrefu.
Aha.
Na taarifa zinaniingia zinasema wako Mmust.
Wako Masinde Muliro.
Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology.
Aha.
Wamewasili.
Wako
lakini kuna surprise act.
Yes.
Sawa.
Nani atapata?
Ndugu yangu. Nimesikia kuna mmoja alikuwa anataka aimbe.
Kuna mtu anaitwa Sylvia.
Simama kidogo
kuja Sylvia, kuja Sylvia. Tupige makofi tafadhali anapokuja. Karibu sana
Sylvia. Tupige makofi. Kidogo tu 2 minutes.
Aha. Karibu.
Praise God. Bwana asifiwe. Okay, kwa majina ni Sylvia Simiyu. I'm a second year student of Hospitality and Institutional Management. Niko na wimbo. Inaimbo hivi. Tazameni dunia, jinsi ilivyoharibika. Dunia ina waya haina msimamo. Mataifa yana wasiwasi ya kupinduliwa. Tazameni dunia, jinsi ilivyoharibika. Dunia ina waya haina msimamo. Mataifa yana wasiwasi ya kupinduliwa. Karibu siku hiyo, wenye matumaini wote watainua mikono kwa furaha, wakisema tulimwongoja Bwana Yesu aje atuokoe, atuondoe kwenye dhiki za hapa duniani. Karibu siku hiyo, wenye matumaini wote watainua mikono kwa furaha, wakisema tulimwongoja Bwana Yesu aje atuokoe, atuondoe kwenye dhiki za hapa duniani. Sisi kama masafiri tuangalie Ramadhani Isaya 24. Tusome kwa makini mstari wa kwanza hadi mpaka wa 20. Tusipende dunia na mambo yaliyomo ndani kama uongo, kiburi na mapenzi ya dunia. Dunia itapita pamoja na dhamani zake. Na mbarikiwe.
Mpigieni makofi. Mpigieni makofi tafadhali. Hii haijatosha. Acheni wivu. Acheni wivu. Unaitwa nani by the way? Sylvia. Uko na social media handles? Sawa. Mpigeni makofi tena. Na taarifa ninazopata za hivi punde ni kuwa
kabisa
wageni wetu wako around. Wako around. Ukichungulia utaona mabadiliko kidogo. So mkue tayari kuwapata. Mko tayari? Mko tayari? Wangapi wako tayari? Kama uko tayari nyosha mkono. Wangapi wako tayari kuona Churchill? Huyo ndo mgeni wa kwanza anaingia. Wangapi wako tayari? Before ni hand over the program. Kwa wahusika. Kwa wahusika. Nataka DJ uniwekee tufanye activity ya mwisho. Hamtaniona tena hapa mbele. Najua nimewachosha. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Young Entrepreneurship Summit. Nataka kuwakaribisha nyote. The way I go by the name CEO Sami. I am also a young entrepreneur, social media influencer. Pia mimi club host, event planner, corporate MC. So mnaitanga 2 in 1. Sasa mimi sijui mtajiitaje. DJ.
Uko single.
Iyo.
Uko wapi?
So DJ, weka tu nyimbo.
Haya, karibu studio, karibu.
Huyu ako single. Unataka mpoa? Ngutafutia mtu hapa. Hawezi kuwa sawa. Hapa mwanzo kuna entrepreneurs. So unaona nyota iko.
Niko tu fiti.
Uko tu fiti. Na hii baridi yote?
Niko fiti.
Wa. DJ?
Hapana.
Wa. Hey, DJ twende. Ama ni wengi?
Ni wengi.
Wa. Hauko single lakini. Ako hapa? Ako wapi? Ako wapi?
Ako nyumbani.
Ako nyumbani. Hey, watu mko na nyota huku nje. DJ. Wa, ama ni huyu? Umekataa vibaya. Wa. Bro, mam.
Si poa.
Atasa. Una feel aje?
I feel wow.
You feel wow. Mbona una feel wow?
Because I'm here as an entrepreneur.
Oh. So, unaweza?
Nauza omena.
Wewe anauza omena. Watu wangu wa Kisumu boys. Make sure unaona huyu. Ndio huyu hapa. Mumemwona? Omena. Unaanza ni omena tu.
Omena supper, omena breakfast, omena lunch. Ni omena supper, omena breakfast, omena lunch. Polika pomena.
Uko single?
Siko single.
Oh. Uko single? Sa wanaume? Hapa ni kama hakuna wanaume. Kuna wanaume hapa? Kuna wanaume? Nani anataka bibi? Hebu simama kidogo. Simama kidogo. Hautaki ringos? Hautaki chocolate? Pigeni makofi. Sija kuambia ukae. Simama tu. Huyu ameweza ama ba? Si ameweza? Sasa ako single. Frila. Utaki huyu? Ama unataka kujichagulia? Utaki kutoka soko? Unataka kukua ile avocado yenye inafinywa inaachwa. DJ. Niekee wimbo. Fundi wangu wa mitambo. Pole pole tu. Mambo. Kiasi DJ, mambo?
Poa.
Uko aje?
Niko fit.
Umesema unaitwa nani?
Lynn.
Lynn. By the way, uko na biashara gani? Unaweza sema hiyo yenye umesema? Uko na biashara gani? Ama leo umekuja kutuambia nini?
Mimi ni msanii.
Wewe ni msanii? Unaweza imba?
Kuimba tu.
Nielimishe basi. Wewe ni actor. So unaweza act.
Yeah.
So unaweza act kama Churchill. Kuja msanii. Simama, kuja, pigeni makofi. Pigeni makofi, mpigeni makofi. Pigeni makofi. Pigeni makofi. Huyu amesema ni actor. So nataka act kama Churchill. Si ndio? Si ndio? Unataka kuwa wawili watatu? Nitie rafiki yako basi. Niambie jina. Kasi na Kyle. Simameni. Mimi nikiwafuata itakuwa mbaya kidogo. DJ, nipe wimbo. Wapigie makofi wanapokuja mbele. Wapigieni makofi.
Nikapiga magoti nikamwambia I'm sorry, nikaanza kulia, nikamguza roho, akatulia, nikamsho ini ya mwisho, 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 ini ya mwisho.
So DJ, shikilia kidogo. So Lynn, umesema wewe ni actor, si ndio?
Yeah.
Wewe ni msanii. Sasa nataka mkiwa hivyo watatu, najua pia mjitambulishe, mseme mna act nini, halafu mtufanyie kitu kidogo hapo mbele. Dakika 2 tu.
Naitwa Kasi, set book actress.
Habari zenu? Habari zenu? Unaitwa Peter Kyle. Tunafanya set book acting na short film production.
Okay, saseni. Mbona mmeboeka? Okay, mimi naitwa Lynn. I'm an actress. Basically saizi niko set book, but I also do film. Yeah, nimefanya 1-2 film. Yeah, na hizi stage plays tu zote tunazifanya. For now, apologies, hatuwezi perform anything because ndio pia ka script kidogo, mwezi tu ambush tu, then nataka tu perform.
Siku ambush. Hadi askofu. Kuna kitabu cha Biblia nasema Yesu atakuja kama mwizi. Si ni ukweli? Sasa let's take an example. Let's take an example. Mnipigie makofi. Najua Biblia bwana. By the way, kule nyumbani mimi nakuanga mchungaji. Nikishika hivi nikipanda madhabahu, Roho wa Bwana anashuka. Sema amen. Sema amen. Sawa. Sasa nataka mtufanyie kitu. Anything. Just perform anything. Just anything. Si msanii nasikianga anakuanga creative. So use your creativity to
Come on in, you young, headstrong girl. I've done nothing for the last few weeks except to make you abundantly clear that my patience for you is running out. And now, you must know that I am completely fed up with you.
My apologies.
Look at me if you ever see. Do I look like a house girl or your secretary?
You are certainly not, madam.
Now there's nothing that will be happening in this school except receiving municipal leaders who are coming to see you. And I will never think about anything else beyond the safety of a young, ambitious girl who does not know the trouble she's putting herself into.
My apologies.
Do you think that's fair to me? To the school? To the entire school?
My apologies, Madam Prince. It's not my that all this is
Listen,
happening.
they are all coming
But
to
now
see.
who is
all
coming?
of them, including the inspector who took you to this house.
But Madam Principal, okay, what should I do?
I said severally, if you can't turn the wind, then turn the sail.
But Madam Principal, what do you mean?
Don't give me headache, you young girl. They are all coming so that you can discuss with them whatever you prefer.
So
Madam Principal, you want us to turn into slavery and leave the idea of public service continue being unchallenged, Madam.
I am a seasoned administrator. I know the value of learning how to wage battles. You should learn which battles to wage, which ones to avoid, and which ones to defer. What battle can a young girl like you have with the mayor? Inviting an elephant to a wrestling match will lead to trample on you.
An elephant that tramples on a rat is not a hero, Madam Principal.
Asanteni.
Wapigie makofi. Unajua huyu ananikumbusha nani? Nikiwa mdogo pale Citizen TV nilikuwa naangalia mother-in-law. Hey! Sio amechukua hiyo character ama ni mimi naona zangu. Mpigieni makofi tena.
So sasa ni tena. So today tungependa tu advertise. We have a play inaitwa The Political Preacher. Kama unapenda kuwatch. So we have this play known as The Political Preacher. It will be staged at Golf Hotel on 12th of December. Mark your calendar. 12th of December, there's a play at Golf Hotel. It's called The Political Preacher, and all are welcome. For the charges, advance, that means right now that is 800. Yeah, entry then. The gate we have 1,200, and VIP we have 2,000 Kenyan shilling. Thank you and have a nice day.
Hakuna ticket ya MC. Pigeni makofi. Wapigeni makofi.
Wako sawa by the way.
Wako sawa.
Wako fiti.
Pia hiyo ni entrepreneurship. Sinivo.
Yes, mtu wangu.
So unaenda pale unawa support. Mmesema date 12? Golf.
Na labda kuna mtu hajui Golf Hotel iko wapi. Unajui watu wanashangaa Golf Hotel iko wapi?
Kuna mwenye hajui Golf Hotel?
Mkono kwa hewa kama hujui Golf Hotel. Mkono kwa hewa. Tukupatia direction.
Nataka kupeleka mtu dina.
Hakuna mtu ajui.
Kwani hamtaki niwapeleke dina? Ni sawa. Unasemaje?
Nimeambiwa pia kuna mwimbi. Kuna mtu hapa ni mwimbi anataka kutuimbia kidogo.
Nimeona mwingine sijui ametoroka.
Amekimbia.
King Sama.
Aha, where are you?
King Sama, where are you? King Sama, where are you? Simama bwana.
Kuja, usiogope, kuja.
Dakika ni 2. King Sama. Hadi jina umesahau. Mpigieni makofi. Kijana mtanashati anaitwa King Sama. Ukoaje bro? Uko fiti. Wanakuita nani?
King Sama. I'm an artist, nafanya afro pop. Check. Niko Mmust second year. Yeah.
Unapenda kula chakula gani mtu wangu?
Ati?
Unapenda kula nini upande wa pili?
Anything yenye nakulika.
Wewe hata seveve unaanguka nayo.
Anything napita nayo.
Uko single mtu wangu?
Niko single.
Mbona uko single by the way?
Hiyo ndio life napenda.
Hiyo ni life unapenda?
Yeah.
Asante sana. Labda leo umetuandalia nini upande wa pili?
Got nothing special. Nimekuja tu kusikiza ni learn.
Kusikiza tu upande wa pili.
Kani nimesoma.
Yeah, I'll also be having MC Brayo upande wa pili pia atakuwa anakuja muda sio mrefu, itakuwa tamu tena zaidi.
Sasa.
Asante. In the meantime, mtu wangu karibu sana, dakika ni moja.
Wamesema ni waperformie so basi moja tu. Show me what you got, show me what your mama give you back. I like the way you moving back. You da give me something I receive from your part. Maka, show me what you got, show me what your mama give you back. I like the way you moving back. You da give me something I receive from your part. Oh yeah. So baby come and wine for me, then you go dance for me as I go feel for free. Yeah. Nobody gonna make us freeze, cause you're meant to be my one and only, yeah. So baby come and wine for me, then you go dance for me as I go feel for free, yeah. Nobody gonna make us freeze, cause you're meant to be my one and only, yeah. Kidogo tu, if times allows, sikuwa nimejipanga for this, but niko na song mpya kama mngeniruhusu, at least ni launch hapa dakika moja. Ni sawa sawa?
Muda sio mrefu tutakuwa tunaanza rasmi, watakuwa wanaingia our guest of the day. So feel most welcome. Tangazo linaloingia studio ni kwamba tusitoke nje tafadhali. Let's remain seated and quiet tafadhali. Karibu sana bro, dakika moja tafadhali. Our visitors wako nje wanakuja hivi sasa, kindly 1 minute please.
Yeah, actually this is my new song. Yeah. You're my champion, you're my fighter. You're my Carolina, my fighter, my John Cena. Girl, take you for my diner. Forget about Alima. Take you down Mirama. Cause you know you're just fine. I go give you part of my life. Cause you know you're my complainer. Thank you for the time.
Wow, let's appreciate him in a better. Tumpige makofi tafadhali. Karibu sana my super MC Brayo. Unasemaje upande wa pili?
Hey yo, Masinde Muliro University. Mko fiti? Nataka kuona mkono. Masinde Muliro University. Mko fiti? Mko fiti? Siwasikii mazee, sauti yangu haiwezi kuwa kubwa kualiko, sio? Mko fiti? Mko poa? Najulikana kama Brian Suma. Call me Captain, God's favorite host. Na leo ni leo, sio? This is the Masinde Muliro chapter and we are about to begin. Our guests are around the corner, so tafadhali. Today is going to be an amazing day, sio? Mko tayari kujifunza mawili matatu? Mko tayari? Mazee, unajua mimi upenda interaction, si ndio? I need us to interact, sio? What's your beautiful name?
I'm Miss Muhambe.
Miss?
Muhambe.
Anakaa fiti ama kaa fiti? Nani anamuona? Simama wakuone. Simama wakuone. Salimia watu. Wapi makofi yake basi? Wapi makofi yake? Asante sana. Wapi ndio mwingine? Niaje bro? Unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Joel.
Joel. What's your expectation today?
Maybe to be enlightened more on entrepreneurship.
To be enlightened more on entrepreneurship. Sindio? Mboka. Kanairo tunaitanga mboka. Sindio? Na mnajua mkiwa kampo, there's one thing that has to happen. You'll not be here forever. Sindio? Ukitoka huko nje mnataka mkue mboka. Sio? So today we are getting an opportunity to learn more. Not just on whatever you're learning, because kile unasoma shuleni umesoma miaka zote, miaka 4, wengine miaka 6, but at the end of the day ukitoka huko nje wanasema tamaking is real. But from today, tamaking is not your portion. Can I hear an amen? Mwenye asemi amen atatamak. Can I hear an amen? Na nguvu sasa. Can I hear an amen? Amen. No tamaking, sindio? And because it's starting here today, this is the first chapter. It's called the Masinde Muliro chapter. Itakuwa noma sana, sio? Our guests naona wamekaribia kuingia. Wakiingia kwa mlango nitawaomba tafadhali tuweze wote kusimama ili tuwapokee wageni wetu. Are you ready for Ferdinand Manyala? Nduru mazee, wandu wewe. Are you ready for Ferdinand Manyala? Are you ready for Anjogu? Are you ready for Bishop Akama?
Sound engineer.
Okay, so we are about to come. Our guests are about to enter. Tafadhali. Ako wapi sound engineer? Tafadhali sound engineer. Amefika? Hapo sawa. So jitayarishe na national anthem na East African anthem, because we'll have to sing the national anthem of Kenya and the East African community anthem. How sio?
Ushasema.
Vijana, today nakwambia, this is a day that you'll remember for the rest of your life. Let's all be upstanding. Let's all be upstanding. Let's all be upstanding. Let's all be upstanding as our guests come in. Tafadhali. Wapi makofi yao tafadhali? Tupige tu makofi wanapoingia. Tafadhali tuwapigie makofi. Makofi. Aliye mbele yao anaongoza si mwingine, anajulikana kama Bishop Dr. Freda Kama,
our patron.
Namuona Daktari Ofweneke. Wapi nduru ya Dr. Ofweneke?
Wow.
Wapi nduru ya Willis Raburu? Siwaski. Wapi nduru ya Ferdinand Omanyala?
Nduru jamani.
Wapi nduru ya Anjogu? Hapo sawa. While we're still standing, please let's all be upstanding so that we can have the national anthem as well as the East African anthem.
Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Asante sana. Karibu sana. Let's all be seated tafadhali, because of time. Nataka tukimbize, sio? But please allow me to once again introduce myself. My name is Brian Suma. Call me Captain, God's favorite host. Mi upatikana kwa TV, saa zingine tunafanya vitu mbili tatu. But we have our guests. Wapi makofi ya Anjogu tafadhali? Anjogu anaitwa mtoto wa mama ashaingia. Karibu sana. We have our guests wamefika ndani ya nyumba. I can see the fastest man in Africa. Wapi nduru ya Ferdinand Omanyala? Yeah. Now Fadi, you owe me an interview. Haya, yote tutaongea baadaye. Wapi nduru ya Dr. Ofweneke? Haya. Wapi nduru ya Willis Raburu? Yeah, man. Na bila kusahau, wapi nduru ya Daktari Bishop Freda Kama? Asante sana. We are going to have an amazing time, sir. We are going to have an amazing time because this session has, we have different sessions planned for you. Other than keynote speeches, we have panel sessions with our guests. Remember, it's a young entrepreneurship summit. After today, trust me, your life will never be the same again. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome the Dean to come and invite the university leadership wapate kusema mawili matatu as we continue with the program. Asante sana. Wapi makofi ya Dean? Tafadhali makofi yake. Asante sana.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Good afternoon to all of us. Good afternoon once again. Yetu ni kusema karibuni Mmust. The top leadership is just arriving. We'll give them time, but tunawakaribisha. When they are in, we'll give them an opportunity to welcome you kama baba wa boma hili. So I would request that we proceed. He's just arriving. Probably our VC is checking in. I would want to welcome all of you as we wait to the VC to come and give his
Let's
brief
all
remarks.
be upstanding as the VC comes in. Tafadhali. Wapi makofi ya VC? Masinde Muliro University. Tafadhali.
Pige makofi tafadhali.
Makofi. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Bwana Vice Chancellor. Karibu sana. Karibu katika ukumbi wa MTH. Karibu sana. We can take our seats, as he says, jump to the guests. Karibu sana, Bwana Vice Chancellor. With all humility, I will request him so that we give him just 1 minute. Then he can come and give his introductory remarks. Karibu sana, Bwana VC. Umefanyeko mzuri kucheko. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali mahali tuko. Bwana Vice Chancellor, this shoe was too big for me. May I, with all humility, request you ukaribisha wageni, uwasalimu na uwakaribishe tu kwa boma hili, then the rest will follow. Asante sana, karibu.
I'm allowed to stand here. Bwana asifiwe. Praise God. Mirembe. Now, they have just surprised me as I came in. Forgive me for coming in late, but I have been having many other activities. I just want to welcome you here at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology. When you talk of Western region, this is the biggest university with a student population of 25,000. You may not be seeing them because you know what, isn't it? But they are normally more than here. But I'm thanking God that a lot of you have not gone away. You are around and you are keeping the peace. Today we are meeting here to discuss something that is very key to the university. In this university, we host 11 schools. There's what we call flagship programs, the number ones. The ones we say we are known for. Number one is engineering. We have all types of engineering. And then number two is health sciences. We produce doctors, nurses, and the like. And now number three is disaster management. And then we have other centers of excellence, including the best teachers. This one we don't talk about it. You know it. The best teachers come from the region. So the best teaching school is here. Then we have and that is my second-born daughter. So I reminded him about that. Can you clap for me? She's not yet taken, so you can see me candle. Yeah. So I want to make you feel free, feel at home, feel in go. May the Lord God bless you. Buni.
Asante sana. Yes, Dean, please take it over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Can we applaud the VC? Tupende ile ya Nyayo. Kama mimi nasema moja naenda pa mbili pa. hapa. 3, tufungue. Asante sana Bwana VC. In our midst we have our Mmust students, wherever you are, just raise your hand wherever you are. Beba mkono kama mwanafunzi wa Mmust. Na tupige nduru ya Mmust tafadhali. We also have in our midst students from other universities who've been invited here. I saw Kisii University. Where are we? Beba mkono tafadhali. Asante. Tupige makofi tafadhali. And all other institutions that are with us here. Our staff from Mmust. I saw the Dean School of Sciences. Tafadhali, just wave. Thank you so much. We also have our county chaplain of Kakamega, Apostle Ken Baraza. Tafadhali. Yuko wapi? Makofi kwake. Asante. Then we have our Bishop here, Tuma. Punga mkono kwa hewa tafadhali. Asante. Thank you so much. We also have our student leadership represented here. Ndugu Pego mkono tafadhali. Thank you so much. As the VC has said, you are all welcome. May I ask my co-MC take over this and proceed with the program.
Asante sana Dean. Nashukuru sana. And just to mention is that we are streaming live on our partners platforms. I'm talking about Testimony TV, and all these personalities that you see here will be streaming live on their platforms. So the Masimbo Muliro chapter, trust you me, this is the chapter. How's here? Mko tayari? Are you ready to learn something? I'm about to invite a gentleman on stage, a gentleman I've known for so many years. He's a gentleman who has grown through the ranks. They call him a comedian. At times I don't find him funny. Ni mimi, pole. But he's a gentleman who's very, very out there. He's done so many things in the industry. And right about now, because unajua wanasema siku hizi, people catch flights or catch feelings. Ndio, to catch my feelings, you catch flights. And he's about to catch a flight. So I'll give him an opportunity to come and just talk to us briefly. Then we shall continue with the program. Please, let's put our hands together for Dr. Ofweneke. Praise the Lord. No, come on, praise the Lord. People, make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. No. I said, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and make some noise. Beautiful. All protocols observed. Thank you so much, Bwana VC, Bishop Akama, to all my colleagues in the industry in the house as well, and to my very good friend, of course, Reverend Baraza. Always such a good time to see you, sir. And to each and every single young person in the house this evening, God bless you so much. Thank you so much. Kuna kitu Chuma ulisahau kusema. Eugene inasemonga the eagle himself, the Duke of Kakamega, Dr. Ofweneke is my name. And this hapa ni nyumbani. Kwa hivyo nyinyi wote karibuni nyumbani, si ndio? Please, if you're proud to be part of Kakamega County, can you put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I had prepared a whole presentation because I really wanted us to have a conversation about a couple of few things. But I must say this before I go on. Bwana VC, you've done such an amazing job. And I think it's very good that we just put our hands together and, of course, commend you for the amazing leadership. Let's appreciate Bwana VC, ladies and gentlemen. For many years, I created a brand that sounded that it was foreign, and people thought I was Nigerian. And for almost, I'm celebrating 17 years in the industry in February 25th of this year. Thank you. Yeah, you can clap. Please don't hold yourself from clapping. If you're not clapping, it's because you're jealous. So that's why you're not clapping. So just clap. And this is where my story started. Baby class, nilikuwa Pine Breeze ya kwanza, nilikuwa pa Milimani. Class 1, 2, 3, nikaenda Ikonyero Primary pale chini. Class 4, nikaenda Malava Primary. Class 5, 6, nikaenda na Wongo Primary pale chini scheme.
So when I tell you I am the Duke of Kakamega, it's because I know what I'm saying. This is a home for me. All right? At that time, we took on the Deliverance Church, Pastor Mudhama, when it was still here at Bohongu Stadium. So this is a place that for me is in my heart. And that's why when I decided to rebrand, I rebranded to the name the Duke of Kakamega, because I wanted the county of Kakamega to have something to be proud of. Ladies and gentlemen, so whenever you see me going international, I'm on TV, I'm on radio, I'm on podcast, I want you to know, Ulano, Eshenyuni? Eshenyuni? So kila kati mnajiringia. Sawa sawa? Now, I need to hurry because I need to go. Kawaida mnajua tunakutana Radio 47 jioni kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 4, 95.5. Wanaume tunakutana ndani ya chamber, si ndio? So I need to hurry up, ndio mtetezi wanaume arudi Nairobi, si ndio? Now, I want to talk about branding, and I carried notes, but I feel like in my spirit I want to speak out of my heart. And before I continue, it's important for me to say, and I'm not ashamed about saying this, my original name is Sunday Bush Oyolo. Isn't rule huiser? Isn't Mseno Mushisa? Mseno Murono? Mseno Lichina? Imboko Yamatere? Ese solo yabalwe. Ita. Now, we need to talk about branding and how to convert content creation. Because whether we like it or not all of you are going to fit in a courtroom. True or false? Now, I want us to have a class. I want us to have a conversation. Not all of us are going to fit in a class, in a courtroom. Not all of us are going to be engineers. Not all of us are going to fit in classroom as teachers. We must accept that the world is moving, and you guys are privileged to have the easiest of ways of making money and earning a living. Now, Willis will tell you, and Ann will tell you, when we started media, we didn't have this kind of privilege that you guys have. All right? Now, this amazing young man is covering this event simply by data and a mobile phone. And that's where we're heading to. All right? And now we're at a place whereby even if your grandmother does not have a TikTok account, your grandmother is so behind. True or false? Look at her. She's using an iPhone, an iPad. All right? And that is where the world is moving. But you must also realize freedom comes at a price. And freedom must be accountable to some certain level of wisdom and knowledge about what is happening. I'm going to be speaking very quickly, so please make sure you have your notes on. Branding. What is branding? Branding is who you are. Branding are the attributes that you are identified by. Branding is who people think and who people identify you by. All right? Dr. Feneke, let's say Sunday Bush is a man. Akona ndevu, akona kifua, ni mrefu. That is a brand because there are attributes to it. So first of all, when you're getting into content creation, the first thing you must ask yourself, am I a brand? And what are the qualities of the brand that I'm trying to create? It is not about putting your microphone on and putting your camera on and saying, guys, the most useless and the most stupid statement you can ever use as a content creator is, hi guys, so my name is Dr. Foneke, so what do we talk about today? That's a stupid question to ask. Remember, the audience is like a dog. If you show it fear, it's gonna bite you. But if you show it you know what you're doing, it is gonna listen to you. Are we having a conversation? I want to see you guys move your heads and know, so I know that I'm doing class. All right? So first of all, you must know who you are. You must identify yourself. And after COVID, if you realize after COVID, the world moved from intellect to emotions. Meaning your brand must be able to connect with emotions and less of the mind. I'm sorry, I know I'm speaking to intellects in the house, but I will say this. Because the world became very emotional. The world was like, mtu anaweza kufa sahi, dada anaweza kufa sahi, mama kufa sahi. So everybody became woye. So you must make sure, number two, does your brand relate to the heart? Does your brand evoke emotions? Does the conversations you're having evoke emotions? Does whatever you're posting on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, does it evoke emotions? Does it either make people happy or make people sad? Either way, your brand must evoke emotions. So if whatever content you're putting cannot make me cry or make me smile, you might as well throw away that phone. or use it for an M-Pesa business. Because it's nothing you're telling me there. All right? So the content creators, aspiring content creators that are here, you must first of all understand that your brand must evoke emotions. I've invested in my Wi-Fi. I've invested in my data bundles. I want it to be worth it for me. Number 2, you must define your target audience. You cannot talk to everybody. Every time you try to appeal to everybody in a target audience, you will lose it. For me, it's plain and simple. Ofweneke is not an ordinary Mwananchi brand. Anjogu will tell you. She works in radio, she will tell you. So ukifanya road show ya Bambatano, don't call me. They will not listen to me. But you see this group, Apambele, now that's my crowd. And it's because I carefully crafted my brand to attract a certain type of people. Now I knew when I went to the industry, I saw a lot of my colleagues were wearing wanajipaka chalk, wengine wanavaa makoti zimeraruka, wengine wanavaa to look funny. That was not going to be my idea. I was very intentional about it, Reverend Baraza. I said, you know what? Don't I not speak good English? Yes, I think I'm the best, among the top most eloquent lawyers that I know. My English has no mistake. So I knew, first of all, I'm going to make sure my English is smooth. Because my target audience is the corporate world. Those are the ones I'm going for. They are looking for good English. Number 2, I am going to dress like them. That's why your phonic is always in a suit. It's not by mistake. Some of you are waiting to die for you to wear a suit. God forbid. Can we have a conversation, guys? So I said, I'm going to dress like my target audience. So that if I stand in front of Bob Colmo, Jeremy Awori, there is a respect that comes with it. Number 3, I told God, please, God, may you bless me so much so that I can travel to the countries that these CEOs have traveled, so that when I mention Cumberland Mall, Atlanta, Georgia, I'm like, this boy has traveled. If you find yourself creating a brand by mistake, you will fall. Falling is guaranteed. Trust me, falling is guaranteed. So if I hear somebody telling me, oh, Fonike, I don't find you funny, I first of all go through your profile. I'm like, this is no loss. But then again, now coming to you, Chaplain, I knew there's another audience that people have forgotten about. The church audience. Because no matter how much VC will have his uji on Friday, on Sunday, ako happy. So what did I do? I made Ofoneke a family brand. So Ofoneke became the only comfortable comedian that you can call on the altar. It was not by mistake. I've been to his church. I've been to all the big churches. And they tell Ofoneke is the only one we know because he knows the word. And the CEOs and their families and their children are where on Sunday? They're in church. And no matter how dirty-minded we may think we are, Kenya is still a very conservative society. So we are not ready for dirty kind of humor. We still want clean humor. So I went for clean humor. It was very intentional. Brand. So you must be, point number 1, creating a brand, you must be intentional about it. Number 2, I'm really trying to make sure I hurry up because of the notes that I had written. And thank you so much, Bishop Wakama, for this. Number 2, when you're creating a brand, please don't think about money first. Think about the growth first. Ladies and gentlemen, the number of times we went to Churchill's show and did shows for free. When I joined Vincent Atea on Milele FM 17 years ago, Atea was earning 300,000 and I was earning 5,000. Somebody was paying me via an envelope. I'm talking of appreciation. Na nimeamka asubuhi napigana na Churchill na Kingangi. Na Maina. Nipigane na Willy Broda, Papa, na Mwala, Citizen. Nipigane sijui na nani akina Radio Maisha. All this time, 5,000. But if I was a fool, I would have said, hapana, wasa wananibeba upuzi, hapana. But because there was a target. I I knew being on air, doing a breakfast show with no experience at all, this was a chance of a lifetime. I had to make it work. So I was living in Kibera. So what do? I walk on foot from Kibera to town. I love town to napanda matatu baka Muvule Lane. Because what this generation needs to understand, that building a brand requires and expects uttermost sacrifice from you with no apology. 17 years, you guys, you think wearing a suit like this started jana? You think it was very easy for me to wear this suit? Mimi nilikuwa nanunua shati Gikomba na Toy Market ya 50 bob. Alafu nenda naiosha vizuri na alafu nilikuwa na buy ile cologne. Kuna ile cologne Moi Avenue unaifanya hivi, unaigonga hivi unaweka kwa mfuko. There's gotta be sacrifice into it. It is fine. So you are doing one TikTok video, it goes viral. Now you want to charge what Willis Raburu and Dr. Foneke are charging. Excuse me. Clients don't buy talent, they buy experience. You guys, so I'm the one who emceed the inauguration of the governor. Tell me if you're a dimwit, you'll have done that event. Dignitaries were there. You would have said anything for the sake because you think you're funny. Humor must come with intelligence. You just don't go blah blah. It must come with wisdom. So number 2, think about building the brand first before thinking about money. Don't think because you have 10 viral videos now you want Safaricom to pay you 300,000. No. They are buying experience. They are buying the loyalty that Foneke has. Guys, ama kizungu yangu ni ngumu. Tunapatana, si ndio? I really want you guys to get this because this is where the money is, truth be told. Mkiona Foneke sahi na balance TV, Dr. Foneke Tonight, ni balance Mr. Right, ni balance Red 47, na balance YouTube, is because that is where the money is. Right now I have 2 events that are coming just to talk because of my YouTube channel. That is where the money is. If today, God forbid, Cape Media waseme ayuki jana ende, I will still maintain my life. Number 3, identify yourself. You cannot do content. Leo unafanya content ya single mothers because your mom is a single mom. Kesho unafanya content ya watchmen kwa sababu unapenda watchmen wenyu. Kesho kuto unafanya content ya mapastors kwa sababu pastor yako alikukuza. You must decide one thing. This is what I'm going to be identified by, and this is what I'm going to feed my audience. And remember, if you don't, let me tell you, one of the most unfortunate thing about building a brand is, if you don't define your value as a brand, the audience will determine your value. Then they will decide your value. Willis will tell you, he's the most relevant example I'll use for now. Kuna pesa sahi ukipatia Willis hata kubali. Mimi sahi ukinitia 50,000. Hiyo hata si ya parents fee, nakuja kufanya nini? Hiyo ndio kutumia picha yangu. Na mimi niko na kiburi. I'm not humble. Humility is not in me. I have worked so hard to get here. 50,000, but there was a time 50,000 was, man of God, my first wedding, nililipa chakula. We don't have money to pay. We don't have money to pay you, but we have food. Your time naishi Kangemi nyumba ya 1,500. Nanjiambia wale? Wako na mchele. Ndero. Kulako la ikashi ni sawa. Nipe. Sasa hizo mwenye nimejifanya Nigeria mwenye ana translate ni Mkikuyu. Sasa shida after nilitoka Lubini hapa Shianda nilienda Kirinyaga, so naelewa Kikuyu. Najua huyu mtu anaongea vitu hata hakuna, sasa nasikia nitacheka, lakini nikicheka watajua mimi si Nigeria. So this thing will work out. It will pay off at some point, but there's gotta be a strategy to it. Number 4, as you're building your brand, you must plan ahead 5 years to know that times will change. Why did I change from a Nigerian to a Kenyan and I used the slogan Duke of Kakamega? Because Nigeria ilikuwa imeanza kuisha. Ngoma za Nigeria zimeanza kubo, movies za Nigeria watu wameanza kuwatch. So should I resign because it's fading? No, you change the plan. Because the audience is always waiting for you. So you're smart enough to don't change the plan. Always make sure you have a plan. And let me deviate just a little bit. I keep on telling women, when you're going out to the man, please make sure you question the man, because a real man must have a 2-year agenda, a 5-year agenda, and a 10 years agenda. If you ask me as I stand here, Bwana VC, my 10-year agenda is ready. And my 10-year agenda is to make sure that you guys, the Kakamega people, have somebody to look up to and to make nice for you, huko Nairobi. So the plan is deliberate. Are you guys listening to me? Because the opportunity to make money is there. Spiritual, let me go a little bit spiritual. Some of you are what are called curse breakers. And the lives of curse breakers are very hard. Some of you are here because you're a curse breaker of your family. How many of you are here and probably you're the first one who has ever gone to university in your whole lineage? Now God has given you opportunity for exposure, education, knowledge, intelligence, and social circles. Maximize on it. Your phone is just not, well, wezi kunatumia simu ni kunyonga tu. No, let's have a conversation. Bundles zako zinaisha kunyonga. Shame on you. People are making money with the phone. When unangoja tu utafika hostel saa ngapi? No, I want us to be honest with each other because we're losing it. Ufunike na Willis wanacheza kwa simu kitafuta vile the new movie content production. When I knew I wanted to go international, I used to pay for myself every 2 weeks, every August. Naenda Hollywood, Los Angeles, America. See, naenda sherehe, I'm just going to watch how are these shows being done. My fellow Luya men, you can only grow as far as your feet have reached. Mtu uzaliwe Ikonyero, uende Ikonyero clinic, Ikonyero primary, sahi kuna Ikonyero secondary, utoke uende Eregi ama ukuje hapa, then ukuje ufundisha na bongo ama ndani. Then uwe msichana wa hapi Kakamega. How do you expect to compete with the international world if you cannot even cross Isiru ama Gambo Giboso? Auja cross. Then you want to sit on the same table with the Foneke. You know, you will die. The self-esteem that I will crush you with, you will die. Rev, am I saying wrong? Please tell me. Let me tell you, the anointing attracts, exposure attracts. So hii kuna msana na galapa nasema aki hiyo suti, aki hiyo kichana wetu, aki kumbe walio ni wahandisa aki kitu yetu. Hii ni yetu. I'm being honest. So men, you have to push yourself. All right? Sorry to deviate a little bit from the topic, but I'm really trying to talk to the men. We have to challenge ourselves. These women are going. The world is favoring them. The boy child, we told the girl child how to say no, but we didn't teach the boy child how to accept the no. Build your brand. Make sure you're making use of that phone, that Wi-Fi, that data bundles. All right? Number 5, as I finish, make sure your story is as authentic as possible. Sell you. Don't be fake. Simply because Bahati anaweka video akivaa kichungi, wewe pia unataka kuvaa kichungi. Hiyo visi nimesema ndio asiipate. Sasa unataka kukopi kenye Bahati anafanya wewe. The today what content creation is about reality. It's about you, selling you, your real life. The reason why I called my podcast Lessons at 30 Dr. Funes, because even as a man, there are things that by the time I was getting to 30 years, there are things that I had learned as a failure in terms of marriage, failure in terms of friendship, failures in terms of investment, failures in terms of career choice at some point. And for the men that are here, nobody should ever make you feel embarrassed of your failures. Men are built by their scars. Men are recognized by their scars, not by their success. Are we having a conversation? Are we talking, guys? I'm trying to say something here. Sell the authentic you, the original story. Do not try to be like Ofoneke ever. There can only be 2 useless Nigerians ever in the history of Kenyan comedy. And that can only be Dr. Foneke and Oga Obina. Nobody else can do it better than we do. Sasa wewe unataka utokea saa hii pia unaanza Oga o nitakutoa nje. Mimi mwenyewe vile nakaa hapa I speak a little bit of Igbo, so utanichapa wapi? Saa hii high commission Nigeria kuja sema nataka Nigeria. Sasa kuja Ofoneke. Be authentic, sell the real you, sell your story. Emotional as possible, but sell your story. It's gonna buy. People will buy it. Last point, keep on posting. Keep on posting. Without one like, keep on posting. Reverend Baraza will tell you probably when he was starting his ministry, probably alikuwa na one worshipper. In ministry and theology, we call it where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. Ile mnakuanga tu pale pastor and the worshiper na vile mapasta sijui mbona mapasta wote si wote wanajua kuimba. I've never known why that's the problem. So keep on posting no matter what. Keep on posting. Somebody's watching. A brand is built on resilience and consistency. As long as you stick to it, the idea, let me tell you, the psychology behind Kenya's buy based on umenibo. Nimekuona mara ya kwanza, nimekuona ya pili, ya tatu, ya nne, wacha ni watch. Umse amenibo. That's the psychology of Kenya when it comes to buying. Keep on posting. Oh, I feel like we needed a bigger session for this. I have to, naambiwa time yangu imeisha. I hope kuna kitu nimesema. Did we get something? Was that a good Kickstarter? Alright? No, mtu asikwambie kitu wewe fanya kitu unafanya. Let somebody tell you. That negative comment. The human mind at times is built on looking for negativity more than positivity. There are times like the latest interview I did of Jimmy Wanjigi. Everything is positive. But man of God, you'll find me looking for that negative one. Ofoneke anabo. Alafu nikiipata. Enyewe nilikuwa nabo. I've forgotten 99 who were impressed. I'm looking for that one. Keep on posting. Na mtu asikwambie kitu si simu yake, na si data yake, na si wifi yake. Mimi sahii nimenunua iPhone 17, 230,000. And I am not humble, I've told you, so don't look for humility in me again. So mimi ninunue simu yangu 230,000, ndio wewe kuja niambie Ofoneke sikupendi, hata mimi sikupendi na sikujui. You must learn to believe in yourself. Don't let other people sell narrative. Some of you will never succeed, not because you cannot succeed and you don't have the potential, but because you've allowed the negativity of people to sell in your head. And anybody who tells anything negative is because they could not do it. That's why they are selling and portraying the negativity on you and their self-esteem issues. Mimi Omanyala, I have a rule. You don't send me bad text. You don't call me to gombanisha me. You don't shout at me on my phone. I block you. You don't come on my YouTube to speak negative. I will delete that comment. You don't come on my Instagram to tell you I'm not good enough. 17 years, you're not telling me I'm good enough. Ulikuwa wapi 17 years ago? Kuniambia leo I'm not good enough. Kiburi yako ni muhimu pia. Sawa sawa. Wacheni kitu ati unajua mimi ni humble. God was not even humble. The man of God will tell you. Even the God said, Father, they are asking who are you? I am that I am. And are we not made out of God's image? Let us make our sons out of our own image. Stop walking like mediocre and apology. You are who you are. Where you're born does not define you, but where you're going is what defines you. What I normally say of late is this: I may not have come from a rich family, but a rich family must come out of me. Are we together? Nimekusanya. Points zilikuwa mingi nimekusanya. I hope you gotten something. Sawa. Guys, lazima nikimbie chamber. So I'm rushing to the airport. But I love you guys so much. Asanteni sana guys. I love you. I'm your big brother. Mimi ni mtoto wenyu, mimi ni kijana wenyu. Sawa. So wacha nikimbie Nairobi ndio naongelesha wanaume. And I've done my best. All right.
A roof over my head, yeah. Love in my bed, yeah. So much to live for. I remember when I used to.
Okay. Just a short photo session. Alafu tutapata kuendelea, au sio? Very brief photo session. Wapiga picha wote tafadhali. Click.
No, I'm so grateful.
Yes.
Life is so
Let's see the beautiful smiles. Albert Rono, piga smile safi hivyo. Inakubalika Anjo mtoto wa mama. Smile is wapi? Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Life is so amazing.
Ilikuwa picha, si ndio? Wapi makofi ya Dr. Ofunike? Wapi makofi tafadhali? Let's clap for him. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali. And right about now, allow me to recognize a few personalities. Unajua, nilipokuwa na introduce the whole panel, there's a gentleman I missed. And this gentleman is quite significant. He is the director Base Radio. Wapi makofi ya Albert Rono. Asante sana. If you want to be a radio personality, nimekuonesha, si ndio? Asante sana. Allow me also to identify Deputy Vice Chancellor, Planning, Research and Innovation, Professor Buhala. Asante sana. Also please allow me to recognize the chaplain Kakamega County, Bwana ama Bishop Ken Baraza. Asante sana. Wapi makofi yake? Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's this lady I want to call on stage. She'll be saying something kidogo to Sir, then we'll continue. But before then, let me do this first. Nataka msikie vizuri, Sir. I want to read something for you, okay? Bishop Dr. Fred Akama is the founder and overseer of Tushia Ministries International, with a divine mandate to rise devoted followers to Christ through sound biblical teaching and spiritual impartation. The ministry has expanded rapidly across Africa with thriving branches in Uganda, Nigeria, and multiple cities in Kenya, including Nairobi, Eldoret, and Kisumu, without forgetting Busia. Bishop Akama holds a Doctor of Divinity from the United Graduate College and Seminary International, USA. In 2019, he was appointed a United Nations Peace Ambassador by the International Association of World Peace Advocates, IAPA. And in 2023, he became the county director for that organization called IAPWA, Kenya. He also serves as a military chaplain. In brackets, he is a captain. Ukipatana naye unampigia salute. Sawa, yes, too, with the Interfaith Chaplaincy of Nigeria, a recipient of the prestigious Presidential Award of the Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya, OGW. For outstanding national service, Bishop Akama is a prolific author of transformative Christian literature, including Covenants, the Holy Spirit, Up Close and Person, Iron Feet, and the Covenant Dimension of Wealth, among others. A recipient of the prestigious, as a media and telecommunication pioneer, he founded Testimony TV, a leading Christian broadcasting network reaching Kenya, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Europe with inspiring faith-based content. Pause kidogo. Testimony TV commands around, on average, over 6 million viewership every month. Tupige makofi. Na unajua 6 million ni decoder, si watu, times 4. Nishasema, sio? Okay. Allow me to continue. Bishop Akama is the visionary behind Testimony City, a groundbreaking smart faith-based city under development in Kajiado. A sustainable technology-driven community designed to integrate spiritual growth and modern living and economic empowerment. He also serves as the founder and chairman of Project Liam, a youth empowerment initiative focused on leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The foundation hosts high-impact programs such as the Young Entrepreneurs Business Summit, which today is the first cohort. Wapi makofi? Makofi. Thank you. Okay. A trailblazing entrepreneur with global business interests spanning Kenya, the United States, Nigeria, the United Kingdom, and Dubai. Bishop Akama leads transformative fintech solutions through AkiliPay, a UK-registered digital payment platform operating in Kenya. AkiliPay enables secure, low-cost mobile and online transactions, bill payments, merchant services, and peer-to-peer transfers with seamless integration into M-Pesa and advanced security features to promote financial inclusion for underserved communities and small businesses. Akili Remit, his upcoming specialized remittance service launching in Q4 of 2025 will revolutionize UK to Kenya money transfers with near instant delivery, minimal fees, and competitive exchange rates. Powered by blockchain-inspired transparency and AI-driven features, it will soon expand to Uganda and Nigeria, while introducing innovative tools such as predictive forex scheduling, biometric security, and remit to invest options linking diaspora funds directly to opportunities in Testimony City. A green remit initiative will also plant a tree for every transfer, aligning financial empowerment and environmental stewardship. Among his tech ventures, Bishop Akama founded Vutia Solutions, a leading software development company and incubation hub in Kenya, specializing in scalable digital solutions. Vutia Solutions offers an advanced SMS platform that empowers businesses with bulk messaging, API integration, and real-time analytics for seamless customer engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all be upstanding as we welcome on the stage Bishop Dr. Fred Akama. Wapi makofi yake? Piga makofi.
Mnipigie makofi bana. Nimejaribu sana. How are you? You may be seated. As we invite our other guests, I want to take this opportunity to thank the VC, together with the administration, sir, for allowing us this opportunity to hold our first cohort of the revolutionary Young Entrepreneur Business Summit in Mmust. This is the first of the summits that will be holding across Kenya, across the universities and the colleges in Kenya, to ignite the creativity that is within the Gen Z community. Gen Z mpo? Kuna Gen Z kwa nyumba? Is there any Gen Z in the house? Gen Z mpo? Comrade power. I can't hear you. Comrade power. Comrade power. So, Banavisi, here with us, we have representatives, I think, from 13 institutions who have come to represent their institutions here. And my job is to cast the vision of what we want to do with young people across this country to unlock the power that God has put in the Gen Z age group in Kenya. How many institutions, where's that, Mr. President? How many institutions are here now? Can you give me the list? If you are from Oginga Odinga, can I see you? Oginga Odinga, are you represented? Celebrate Oginga Odinga University. Koitalel University.
Koitalel University. Where Koitalel? Oh, Koitalel are here in number. Koitalel Arab Samoei University from Nandi. Bungoma. Alupe University. Do you have Alupe University? I can see Alupe there. Do we have Bungoma Polytechnic, National Polytechnic? We had a meeting yesterday with the 13 universities, and from here, our next stop point will be Oginga Odinga University on the date 21st. We'll be in Oginga Odinga University just in Siaya. On 28th, we are going to Chuka University in Chuka. On the 12th, we shall be at Alupe University. What are we doing? Why are we here? Maybe you can hold this phone. Why are we here? This is a business summit, but this is not the end of what we are doing. This is the beginning of what we are doing. We have a summit, a meeting like this to facilitate our contact with young ladies, young men who have businesses, who have ideas for businesses, so that we can take them through incubation and mentorship that will train them. After they have been trained, then we can be able to fund businesses that have gone through the training and have been vetted that they are viable opportunities. Because creativity is with young people. People like us who have already joined the Council of Elders, our creativity is now going down. We are now in the world of AI. We are now in a digital world. We have digital assets. It is not enough now to just to go buy land the way we were taught with our parents. Now, land is online. Now, your wealth is in your digital assets. And it is the young people who are going to lead the revolution in the next coming years. And we must fund them, and we must back them, and we must guide them. A university like this offers academic education. But it is not only academic education that will help you to succeed in the world. You need more than academic education to be able to succeed in the world. I thank God for the professors. I thank God for the lecturers. They are doing their bit, but their mandate is to give you academic education. But when you step out into the world, you realize that you need more than academic education to excel and to be ahead in society. For example, I was telling the young people yesterday, the way people put businesses in Kenya is because they saw another person put the business, and they copy that person thinking they'll make the same money. Yet, there are certain meta factors that makes one person succeed and another person fail in the same business, in the same location. Wave at me like this. Sijui kama mnanisikia. You're very quiet. Mnanisikia? Are you hearing me? How many people like money? Wangapi hapo wanapenda pesa? If you're not lifting your hand, you're a liar. You know, God has commanded us not to love money. Is that true? But God has not commanded money not to love you. Money can love you. So we want to teach you the software that will help you identify, start, and develop a sustainable business. Identify, start, and develop what? A sustainable business. Even if you are going to be employed, The knowledge you'll get through this program will help you identify opportunities for the companies and offer more value to the company that you'll be working for. Because apart from skill you get from academic education, you need personal education. Say personal education. Lazima ujue wewe ni nani. Before you start something, you must first know you. Say here. Say here. There are people who are morning people. There are people who are night people. If you are not a night person and you get online working job, na hiyo kazi ni ya America, na hiyo kazi inafanyika usiku, na wewe you cannot stay awake, you will fail at your job because you didn't know you. You must get financial education. The mandate of the university is not to teach you financial education. A lot of people graduate and they are not financially literate. There are a lot of engineers who are engineer graduates with top class. They have got first class graduation, but they are not financially literate. You need socio education. Your network is your net worth. So from here, we want to register people, and we have got partnerships. We have already got ABSA, we are going to give them a chance here. They're going to be partnering with us in this. We want to register people here with business and business ideas. Ukiwa hapa na uko na kabiashara yako, ama uko na idea ya biashara. Wangapi hapa wamewahi kuwa na idea ya biashara? You know, right now, vile visi amesema kuna kakitu kimefanyika and learning is not going on. Is that true? Learning is not going on. If you had your business that was thriving, that was aligned, yenye ulikuwa na capital, ungekuwa saa hii, you're not worried about learning, you are continuing with your thing. Is that true? Is that true? Young people have ideas. They need mentors who will come and support them in what they are doing. This is not the mandate of the university. What the university is mandated to do to you is already giving you. It needs people like us to come here, to talk to you, to register you, to educate you, to fund you, to mentor you so that your business can succeed. Tukiregister watu, na ni registration ni free, hatukulizi ulipe. Tukiregister mabiashara, tutakuweka through a 4-month business incubation process. You'll be told how do you identify your customer? How do you synthesize that customer? How do you develop that idea until it is of value to the market? How do you market your idea to your market segment? How do you become bankable? And that's why I'm happy our first partner is a bank, because from here you can get 1,000 businesses that will bank with you, that we shall train so that you know they are bankable businesses. Now when you qualify until the end of the training, tutawapeleka wafanye nitaweka panel. Na nimeongea na Honorable Tuju because he's a businessman. He'll be part of that panel. I'm sweating like a pig, eh? Thank you. Nimeongea na Honorable Tuju, nimeongea na Mike Rabar, head of Homeboys. He'll be part of our panel. I'm talking to 1 or 2 people to be part of the panel to judge your business. If we have trained you, then you can pitch. If you pitch, then the first 10 tutawapatia 100,000 shillings to will inject in that business. But you must go through the training. You must show commitment in the training. The ones who don't get, I've spoken to the people of PS, Omolo. The next 20, we want to connect them to this. I know the Nyota is not for campus, but I want it to be for campus also. Are you listening to me? Because we must support our young people. What must we do? We must support our young people. Creativity is with them. We must unlock that creativity for this country so that the way M-Pesa came out of this country can have other creative ideas that are coming in. So the people who don't make it for the first cohort, we will recycle you to the second cohort and the third cohort and the fourth cohort until you make it. You must make it. I said you must make it. You must make it. If your ancestors fail you, you will not fail your descendants. If your ancestors failed you, you will not fail your descendants. You will make it, even if you have to push you, kicking and screaming. We must change the software. We must get rid of the victim mentality where we blame other people for our troubles. We must take a hold of our destinies and move forward as people who God put here to succeed. Every young person here looking at me, you have an equal chance to succeed. Kitu wache ni ujinga ndogo ndogo, ni nini ndogo ndogo. Focus, sit, let your mind begin to work. Because the fact that you're here means you're already above average in thinking. Wewe umeshinda, you are on the top 99 percentile. Just by brain power alone. All you need is just little guidance, little support, and you will explode and shock everybody, including your uncle. Say I hear. Say I hear. Say I hear. So we want every university in this country to have young entrepreneur business summits. And hundreds of businesses are going to sprout across universities in Kenya. And we are going to lead this effort. And we are going to see it through. The government, if it chooses to come in, it comes in. If it doesn't choose, we shall still do it. We'll have partners like ABSA. There'll be a time we'll have 20, after this summit, we'll have 20 partners. And that's why we are working together with Raburu here. We are working together with, this is the founder of Best Radio in Iko Pale Safaricom. This man here. The face of this project is going to be Mr. Omanyala here. Utamwona kila mahali akisaidia youth kwa sababu yeye ni youth na alitoka background, disadvantaged background, and he took something that people did not believe in. Watu walijua Kenya hawawezi sprint. Is that true? People didn't believe Kenyans can sprint. The same way people don't believe you can be rich. Including yourself. I believe more in you than you believe in yourself. You will make it. Look at somebody and say, you will make it. Tell them you look like a successful person. Successful people look like you. You look like a success already. You look like a success already. By being here, you have already succeeded. Listen to me. Let me close with this. Every human being has 4 phases of life. There's the morning phase, the first 25 years of your life. This is your learning phase. Don't waste it. From 1st to 25 years is your learning phase. God has given you, most of you are below 25. But by the time you reach 25, you should have identified your faith, what God created you here to do, your purpose in life, the people around you who are going to help you achieve that purpose, so that you don't waste your implementation years. You begin to implement. Ukipoteza hapo, na uende off, you might lose 10 to 15 years before you read back online. So we are trying to catch you while you're still in your learning phase, so that we put you online on fast track to success. The people who succeed don't do it by accident. It is planned. You must make up your mind today to be a successful person. You must not wait to think it is your degree that is going to make you a success. There are many degree holders who are failures. Say, I hear. The second phase is the implementation phase between 25 and 50. If you have planned yourself well in your first 25, the second phase is a lot easier. But if you don't plan yourself well now, and you make silly mistakes, by the time you catch up, you'll have wasted 10 years, 15 years. Don't make the mistakes we made. Is that okay? Is that okay? Can I just talk to somebody? Is that fine? We are not looking for anything from you. Kijua kuna watu wakisikia bishop ama pastor, nataka naona ni tithe anatafuta. God has blessed us. We have a shilling or two. Is that okay? We have a shilling or two. Mungu ashatubariki. So it is not your shilling that is going to make us rich. But what we are telling you, people pay a lot of money to hear it. How will your death be announced? You know, kuna watu wanakufa, watu wanalia si kwa sababu they miss them, watu wanalia kwa sababu ile responsibility wameachia wengine by them dying. He has 6 children, he has not built a house, he has not done anything. I had a story. One gentleman died when the wife was out. So when the wife came back, he said, sorry madam. When he entered the house, he found the man died. He said, are you mad? Whom are you living with these 6 children? You cannot die now. Wake up. And the man had to resurrect from the dead, because now he had not finished his responsibilities. The people who die sudden death, there are people also, their death is called transition. At your death, there'll be 2 funerals. 2 kinds of funerals. If you didn't live your life well, if you didn't listen to what we are telling you now, everybody will be wailing, children will be running everywhere, people will be collecting and dividing your children and telling us we'll take care of this or that, because you didn't finish your responsibility. You gave birth to 9 children, then collapse before finishing with them. There's another kind of funeral where your wife will come in designer dress. Have you seen that funeral where they put on designer glasses? They don't even cry very loudly. The children, one has come from Canada. The other one has just jetted in the morning from the US. They are giving them the microphone to speak. My daddy. Nobody's even crying very loudly. They cry with style, because you finished your work well. There's nobody wailing and lifting their legs everywhere, kuroga kila mtu, because bank account iko na kitu, umejenga kanyumba, umewekea watu vizuri, umepanga watoto. So your death is not called a sudden death, it's called celebrating a life well lived. He has transitioned because you finished your assignment. Nataka kwenye uko, before we call the next guest, ujiulize, at the end of your days, and as Christians we believe if Jesus tarries, at the end of your days, how will people remember you? Will it be the first death, where people are wailing and dividing your responsibility which you are supposed to have done? Or will it be the second transition, where everybody is celebrating the work and a life well lived? That decision can be made today. That decision, you can make it today by beginning to plan, by beginning to learn, by beginning to tax your mind to unlock the potential that God put in you when He released you to come to the earth. Thank you very much. I love you.
Wapi makofi ya Bishop, tafadhali makofi, tumpigie Bishop makofi. Makofi, makofi, makofi. Thank you so much, Bishop. Asante sana, asante sana. Asante. Allow me to just recognize, before we get into the next session, recognize our able partners. We have Vutia, we have Uprising TV, Testimony TV, Gomad, Clap, na Project Liam. Wapi makofi yao tafadhali. Bila kusahau Absa Bank, powered by Absa Bank. Sindio? Pesa, pesa. Asante sana. Also allow me to recognize Sharon Jigsaw. Wapi makofi ya Sharon Jigsaw. Here they are among the partners waleo. Before we get into the next session, which is a panel session, please allow me to recognize the student leadership that is in charge of this wonderful initiative. Wanajulikana kama Young Entrepreneur Summit. Kindly the student leadership, mbio tu. I'll give you a second just to salimia watu. Ni hapa bro. Bro, ni hapa. Au kuji? Haya, asante.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon once more. Okay, kwa majina is Anita Ruth. I'm a digital creator. Thank you so much, Dad, for this opportunity. The Vice President of Young Entrepreneurs Business Summit. And I want to take this opportunity to thank each and everyone. Thank you for your dedication. Ukachukua time yako kukuja hapa. Na kwa wageni wenye wajakuwa Kakamega, karibuni sana. And to the committee members wenye tumekuwa tukiwork na wao for the success of this event, ningetaka tu msimame, just wave wherever you are. The ushers, the protocols, the security, unaweza simama. Just wave. Tunaweza wapigia makofi. Yeah, thank you so much. And without much ado, I want to welcome our SG to say something. Thank you so much.
Yes, good evening. Maybe I should stand here a bit so that you guys get me clearly. Now, I am a person of very short stature, as you can see. And can you guys see me? Can you see me? Now, my name is Juma Bravin, and I believe that young people need to be empowered. And when Dr. Kama shared with us his vision, we said that we are going to push it to the ladder. And that is why we are here today. And I'll be as brief as I am. Am I shouting? Now, as I stand, you know you only get an opportunity once, right? So today you hear my voice, and in 1 year's time, you shall hear this voice at the chambers of parliament. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll be vying for member of parliament come 2027. Thank you very much. My name is Juma Bravin. Welcome to my chair. Thank you.
Professor, Doctor, guest, ladies and gentlemen, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Bwana sifiwe. I'm called Norris Mbotela. I'm the president of a Young Entrepreneur Business Summit. I would like to invite you officially to Masinde Muliro University and also to Young Entrepreneur Business Summit. One of our vision is to go to all institutions in Kenya, and our patron, we are much humbled for this opportunity. we really say thank you very much and may God bless you. So to the fellow business people and businessmen, I want to tell you that you are most welcome on board. We are going to all institutions. If you have your business, make sure you have registered it there outside so that we can see the procedure of that training for 4 months. Thank you very much and may God bless you all.
Asante sana, wapi makofi yao tafadhali. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me, without any further ado, to bring to us the next segment. It's going to be a panel session where we're going to interact with our guests who are with us here today. We are going to learn on how to identify and commercialize your talent. How to identify and commercialize your talent. Because this is where we are. Sasa, when you look at me, just a brief to kidogo, sindio? I work with the Standard Group, KTN. I am a TV producer, I am a TV presenter, I am an editor, I am a cameraman, I am a director, I am an MC. Right now I'm MCing. This is talent. Now, how do you commercialize this talent? Ukiniona nimevaa juu chini, niko na brand, si ndio? Hiyo brand inaitwa nini? Inaitwa Awakening Pictures. Now, that's the commercial opportunity. Now, we are going to get insights of this and much, much more, because right about now, I'd like to invite our panelists. Nataka mkue makofi, si ndio? This gentleman, you've seen him sprint. Jamali kimbia mazee. Kenya hatujaona mtu anakimbia hivi. Sio? Tukadhani Kenya tu, Jamali enda Africa. He ran. He is the fastest man in Africa. Not just 100 meters. We are talking even a mile. Unajua? Nadanganya. A mile. Unajua a mile ni nini? Google is your friend. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the fastest man in Africa, Ferdinand Omanyala. The second panelist is one lady who has served in the airwaves for years and years. She's grown her voice to be heard across the globe. See Kenya too, because she's a well-known radio personality. She does a thing at Radio Maisha every day from 10 a.m. to 12 midday. Si mwingine anajulikana kama mtoto wa mama Anjugu. Wapi makofi ya Anjugu? Then allow me to introduce one lady, a very fine lady. You know, Bishop Dr. Fred Akama is one person who gives opportunities, sindio? And it not only gives, he nurtures. Anaionanga uko hata kabla uione. Na alispot mtu na kamkuza. This is one lady who's growing into a fine lady in the marketplace. Kindly, let's put our hands together for Sarah Machio, as she is going to be our moderator for this wonderful session. Kindly, let's give them the mics. Na tukipeana mics, wapi Vicky? Kuna Vicky yako wapi? Vicky, ulikuwa na kitu ya Bishop Akama. Ako wapi Vicky? The faster you come, the better. Ama mimi nifunge. There she is. Wapi makofi ya Vicky? Tafadhali tumpigie Vicky makofi. Vicky, eti nini hiyo? Hebu niambie. Cindy.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Salimieni. Habari zenyu? My name is Cindy Lois Mudoni. I'm a content creator and I love you so much guys. Niwaambie kitu. Mama yangu alikuwa ameniacha kwa nyumba, hakuwa anataka nikuje isho. So, jana alikopa loan kwa Absa Bank, mimi nikaona nichukue 100 nikuje. So, mimi nimekuja sahi. Na pia nyinyi mnaona nimekuja sahi. And Bishop Akama nataka tu aniombe ndio mama yangu asinichape. And thank you for creating this show. God bless you. Bazu, uko wapi? Nataka kusema that ilikuwa nikuwe mkimbiaji. Ilikuwa nikuwe the fastest girl. Lakini sijui lini nikaingia timu ya bazu. Ilikuwa sahi nikuwe the fastest runner. Nikaingia timu ya bazu. Sijui nini liniingia. Santeni.
Wapi makofi yake? She can still be the fastest runner, sindio? You see, Eliud Kipchoge said, no human is limited. And right now on stage, we have the fastest man in Africa with the beautiful ladies. Sarah Macho, take it away. Tupige makofi tafadhali.
Thank you so much, Brian. So for our first panel, we'll be discussing on how to identify your talent and how do you commercialize it. It's one thing to have a talent, and it's the other thing to commercialize, right? So from this, we'll learn from Ferdinand and Anne on how to identify your talent and how do you commercialize it. So before we start, I would like you to introduce yourselves, at least wasikia sauti zenu, right? So we'll begin with you, Manyala.
Thank you very much. Waseni aje? Mko fiti? Naitwa Manyala Ferdinand. Mimi ni mtoi wa home. Grow around hapa Western. Live life. Na God ameniwezesha nika grow to the level that Bible inasema He'll put you to a place where you'll sit and dine with kings. So on the place level God amenifikisha. And I'm so glad to be part of this initiative by Bishop. Now I'm just happy that I'm going to pass my knowledge to you guys because I sit where you are. I'm a university student and I understand what you guys go through and what you need. So I'm just hoping that tunaweza relate. Sindo? Asante.
Comrades here. Comrades are. My name is Anjogu and mimi ni mtangazaji wa Radio Maisha. And naongea Kiswahili kingi sana. I'm a Swahili radio presenter na nilianza kuwa mtangazaji miaka 13 iliyopita. I started as an intern. Nikashikwa mkono na watu. I was mentored by some few people here and there. And currently I am serving my 13th year on radio, speaking behind the microphone. And by the grace of God also, last year I was promoted to become the program's controller at Radio Maisha. And also, thank you, I'm working on a TV show on KTN. I want to focus on people who are doing manufacturing business. So very soon you shall be seeing my face on TV. May God bless you.
Thank you so much for that comprehensive introduction. We do appreciate. So I think we'll start with you, Anne. So Anne, you said you began as an intern, then you've been promoted up to where you are right now. Now, taking us back to your journey when you started campus, is broadcasting a thing that was actually a talent that you identified, or is it something that you are forced by your parent to actually go do it? Because maybe there's some of the people here who are doing courses and probably they were forced by their parents to do them. But then, or if at all it was your parent who chose for you, how were you then able to identify it as a talent and actually transition it into a professional career?
Thank you, Sarah. Actually, for me, I would say that I was identified by the community, the people around me. And how do I say that the community identified me? I remember as a small girl in school, wakati ambapo nilikuwa shule ya msingi. Every time shule ikifungwa, my teachers, I want to use the word, would force me because it was against my wish. Walikuwa wananiambia, Anne, we are going to write poems for you, and these poems na shairi utasimama mbele ya wazazi na mbele ya walimu utazikariri. So I was a very small girl because I joined school when I was 5 years, kachopi, if you can say that. And nilikuwa nawekewa meza, na kanyanga meza, I recite the poem. Karibuni wazazi, hapa mbele yenu, ni Anjogu. So ilianza nikiwa shule. So nilipoendelea, I remember my community and especially my uncles. they would say, every time kuna wageni pale nyumbani, Anne has to say something. Yani lazima tu niongee kitu mbele ya watu. Fast forward, nikaenda secondary school, and I want to credit one of my teachers. I want to hope that he's still alive. Anaitwa Mr. Kamunge. Alikuwa mwalimu wa Kiswahili. Every time alikuwa anakuja darasani kusomesha somo la fasihi, alikuwa anasema hivi, mimi nataka Anne Wanjiro, alikuwa anasema Wanjiro, mmejua my middle name alikuwa anasema nataka Wanjiro atusomee hii hadithi kwa ufasaha. So let me say something, Sarah, in a nutshell. I was discovered by the society and by the community. So what does that mean for you as a young student? You need to listen very well what other people are saying about you, because you might not be able to know wewe mwenyewe unabeba nini. What are you carrying? What are you made of? But the moment you listen to that teacher, number one, that lecturer, anakwambia, you can make a very good public speaker. Yeah? You can make a very good designer. You can make a very good Swahili radio presenter. Don't ignore that. So that is number one. Number two, I came to discover, by the way, I have a small body, but niko na sauti. So I went to school, did a diploma in mass communication. So that is how I was able to make my talent more of a professional thing. Nikapata internship Biblia usema broadcasting, nikaenda KBC, then from KBC nikapochiwa na Standard Media Group, and that is how I've been able to rock your airwaves every day kutoka saa 4 mpaka saa 6 nikisema mimi ni mtoto wa mama Anjogu. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for that, Anne. So as you heard, community is important, right? Tusiseme tu tunajijua, right? But it's important for us to also ask those that are around us. Those that are around us, what do they tell us about ourselves, right? So we move on to Omanyala. I know people, some of us here running is quite difficult, right? And we would like to know, how did you identify that as a talent? Beyond, the usual running, the usual fitness, how are you able to identify that as a talent? And how are you able to move from it as a passion and actually commercialize it into a professional career?
I used to be fast ever since I was a young kid, and unaelewa wazazi wanakufukuza, umefanya makosa, and then they are chasing you down but they can't catch you. So from that nilijua naweza kimbia mbio. I was young as I think standard 4. There was this incident where nilikuwa na issue with my mom, and my mom used to sprint before. Alikuwa anakimbia akiwa primary school, and now there was this incident where nilikuwa nimefanya makosa, and now she was beating me, and then I slip off her hand and akashika skirt. Yeah, so now she's chasing me down, and every time she was chasing me down nilikuwa namfungulia gap. And at that moment nika realize manze, hii nyumba kuna mtu anaweza niambia kitu. So that's how I realized I can run. So fast forward to high school, nilisoma hapa Friends School Kamsinga. I joined Friends School Kamsinga, and ilikuwa tu fun and games, there's this time there was an interclass game, and nikakuwa approached, nikaambiwa you're fast, because every time we were running for food tulikuwa tunakimbilia top player, nilikuwa na slide kwa ile mlango ya dining because of how fast I was. So watu walikuwa wanajua I'm fast, so I was asked to play rugby, and that's where everything started, because I was told tukikupasia hii ball, the only thing you do is just catch this ball and run. So that's the only thing I did for those guys, and we got the final of that interclass, played against the Form 3 guys, and that's how I realized that I can run fast, and people love seeing me run fast. So I took it as a challenge, and I joined rugby. Then I loved rugby in high school. I wanted to be one of the best rugby players in this country, because then the rugby sevens team was really doing well, and my dream was to become a rugby star. So fast forward I was called to Chiromo to do Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. So when I got to Chiromo, I was like, let me try and get a club, because I need to continue my passion in rugby. But then the Kenya Cup level was a bit too hard for me, and I decided to drop down to a championship level. And at that championship level is where I met a guy. He was a sprinter before, and he told me, the pace that you're taking us in this field is a bit too much. We might try sprinting. And I was like, I have never heard of sprinting in Kenya. So he told me there is sprinting in Kenya. I downloaded the Athletics Kenya calendar and there were events all over. So I came for my first event, Mmust Complex. And at that time, nobody wanted even to talk about sprints. Nobody figured out that we could be this big in sprints in this country. So at that time, nobody cared. Nobody believed in my dream. Nobody cared about how big I'm dreaming, because this dream I was carrying it by myself. So nilijileta Mmust, and the experience was a bit tough because I'm moving to a different field that I've never done before. And when I was in Mmust, one thing that I really had that I really appreciate up to today is my mental strength, because the guys who are streaming in, coming in through walikuwa wanakuja na mabasi, the police guys, the KDF guys, the prisons guys were coming in, you know, shoulders high. And I'm here with my rugby kids. Nashangaza sawa say takuaje. But because of the drive that I had and the belief that I had in myself, I won my first event in Mmust. And after that, sasa ilikuwa ni kama people are looking up to me, you know. So I'm like, najiambia, iko kimbiza upepo, inafanya sawa na nice sana na mimi, because I got out of Mmust as a celebrity. Kila mzee around the athletic circles were like, hey, kuna jamaa wa rugby ametukimbiza. So I now figure out that I can make this something, you know. I can now start dreaming big about sprinting. And now at that point, I went back, nilikuwa naishi hostel, I went back to my hostel and I was like, let me try and set these goals. So I started setting goals that were unreachable then, because I was telling myself I want to be the first guy to run under 10 seconds in 100 meters. At that time, I was running 11. And anytime I was mentioning it to the group that we were training with, nobody believed it. And every time since 2016, if you go back to my Instagram post in 2016, I was writing a post and putting a hashtag sub-10 on my posts. And how many years later, 5 years later of consistency and discipline and hard work and ups and downs, sleepless nights, going to bed sometimes crying, 5, 6 years later, I ran my first sub-10. And I was the first Kenyan to run my first sub-10. A month, 2 months later, I broke the African record. And then at that moment, I realized that people are getting to know now who Omanyala is. And anytime race organizers will call me, they'll not give me anything, because I didn't understand the value that I'm carrying within me. But over the years, I came to realize that I'm drawing crowds because of the personality that I have. I communicate well, I have a good English, I'm a people's person, I have a good smile. So organizers will invite me for races without me knowing that I'm making these guys a lot of money. Because anytime there's an Omanyala matchup against Noliles, against Akani Simbine, against Tebogo, people come into the stadium and watch because they want to see the excitement. But in that 10 seconds, I didn't realize that the 100 meters event was the best event that the world ever had. Everybody was watching 100 meters. If you look at the stadiums, last year the Olympic Games, a year before the Olympic Games, the stretch of 100 meters all out was bought already, 1 year before the event. So then I started realizing then, mina leta say do, and I think I'm not making enough out of it. So now that's when I started commanding prize monies, I started commanding appearance fees. At this moment in time, no race organizer can call me to run in his race if he's not giving me anything above $10,000 for the 10 seconds, because now I understand the value that I bring into the table. So that's how I converted my passion into my livelihood. So now, that's how now I monetized my talent.
Thank you for that, Omanyala. So I think 3 things that came out strongly: knowing your value, consistency, and again, community. Having community around you that can actually tell you who you are. Beyond, the laughter and stories, who can actually push you to where you're supposed to go. So I think that moving on to Anne. So for the young creatives that are here, the young people that are here, for them to find their uniqueness. So if it's in broadcasting, for them to find their unique storytelling ability, so that they're able then to attract a commercial base for themselves. How can they actually do that? Probably And you can base this on your story because we don't just assume that you came from internship up to where you are right now. There are things that you've actually done to build that base for yourself. So what could be your advice to the young people?
I think, Sarah, by a show of hand, I might need to know the students here who are doing journalism. Are we in the house? Journalism students, kuna watu ambao wanasomea utangazaji kweli? Oh, you're there. Thank you. Awesome. Now, number one, you need to define your unique voice and brand identity. Dr. Afweneke talked about brand building. I will not go into that, right? But when we are talking about your unique voice, unique, ile ambayo inakufanya wewe ni tofauti na mimi ni tofauti na wewe, all right? So that when you leave the room, ukiondoka hapa, what are people going to say about you? I'm going to give you my example. When I was starting as a radio presenter, I did not have a unique voice. What does that mean? That means I could do any show. Mimi nilianza KBC na kufanya show ya usiku. Ile ambayo watu wanalala saa 6, nimeingia saa 1, unacheza muziki wa Franco Lombo, Luanzo Makiadi, akina Madilu System, I know Gen Z's and Jesus, ndio, right? So nilianza usiku. With time, I think my supervisor realized, wait a minute, this girl was a very tiny girl but very confident. This girl has something. So nikapelekwa breakfast show. Breakfast show ni ile ya kutoka saa 12 asubuhi mpaka saa 4 asubuhi, ile ambayo inarausha watu. A breakfast show is very high energy. It is a show that sets the pace for the other presenters. So ukisikia umepelekwa breakfast show, jua kwamba wewe ni mnoma. Yeah, you have made it, all right? So nikapelekwa. Then with time, my bosses started realizing this girl, she has something. Because nikaanza kujijua kidogo kidogo. Nikaanza kujua when I talk about matters business, the audience numbers go very high, all right? When I talk about matters health, maswala ya madaktari, magonjwa, the numbers go very high. When I talk about societal issues ya vijana na wanawake, actually that is what I'm known for, mostly on radio, the numbers go very high. So my brand started shaping itself. Nikaanza pia mimi kujijua. And with that, now companies and brands that advocate for such things. So kama kwa mfano, let me mention a few brands. So kama NGO ina deal na masuala ya vijana na wanawake, zikaanza kujaa kwa show yangu. Because when I talk about matters youth and women, people are listening. So nikaanza kupata NGO inasema kama Anjogu wako leave, hatutaleta commercial, so we are not going to pay radio, all right? Ukaanza kupata mashirika kama Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI. When Anjogu is away, we are not going to bring money because already I have made my identity so clear, yeah, such that when I talk about a certain disease with a doctor, people are going to listen. So, back to you students. What can you do for you now? Kwa sababu, hauko kwa radio, hauna platform sai, sindio? Is that true? So, what can you do now so that you are able to start building your unique voice and brand identity? Anza sahi. We have smartphones, right? Actually, some of you have iPhones, like Mama here. Very nice tablet, awesome. So what are you going to do? As we were coming here, I noticed Kakamega, of course, is very vast in terms of growing maize. You can see the land is very fertile. Anza kufanya stories kwa simu yako. Anza kutengeneza content ya agriculture. And make it as real as possible. Usiseme, oh, ukulima ni shamba. Can I tell you something? Most young people right now shy away from doing matters kilimo because they're like, kilimo ni chawazai, ni cha retirement. But you have to start doing these things so that you stand out. Enda fanya show ya kilimo, package it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, weka TikTok. Alright? Angusha TikTok. For those who are writers, wale ambao wanaandika, do you have people who love writing here? Nani napenda kuandika? Do you have people who love writing? Yes, I can see you, yeah? So, for those people who are writers, can you start curating your content on paper? Can you start writing as early as now? Actually, I don't even know why you have a phone and really don't have a blog. You need to have a blog. And you can start a blog with as simple as a WordPress. All right? Start putting your content there. And I'll tell you something. For the last 5 years, the media terrain has changed. What does that mean? Digital media has so much eaten into the legacy media. Yani watu wanatazama news kwenye TikTok, kwenye YouTube, kwenye Facebook. So we have no option but to do collaboration. Last year, Radio Maisha was looking for some voice artists. Mtu ambaye atatuvoicea vitu za kusema Radio Maisha, tuko mbele pamoja, radio zaidi ya radio. Do you know where we went to look for talent? You can guess. We went to TikTok and found a young man from one of the universities here. Amefanya voicing, akatupa pale kwenye mtandao. And because he had practiced doing that over time, na create a brand identity, it was so easy to recruit them. So number one, Sarah, to answer you, define your unique voice and build your brand identity, like Ofweneke said. Number two, you might need to cultivate an audience and build a community. When I'm talking about a community, I'm talking about at least be known for something. You cannot be a jack of all trades. Let me give you another example. Kwa mfano, tukiwa hapa Mmust, nani anajulikana sana sana kwa mambo ya sports? This is a question, I need an answer. Nani anajulikana kwa mambo ya sports? Yani he's so good, Yeah? Kukiwa na games, events za sports, anajulikana. Can I get a name? Anaitwa? Oh, Stephen Mukangai, perfect. So Stephen Mukangai is one of our presenters. With time, he has built a community. When you mention sports, Mukangai. When you mention matters politics, somebody else from another media house. And you people are very lucky because as early as now usiniambie, oh Anjogu, you know, I'm not in for VR, I'm not very confident, I can't do it. You have a phone? Na warembo tafadhali, simu zetu si za kuslay. Yeah? I know we have the face card, but your phone is not for your face card. Your phone is not to send nudes. Build your community and your audience as early as now. But you might need to do something we call self-awareness. Our Bishop Akama mentioned here. Who are you? What are your strengths? Do a SWOT analysis, all right? Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Get to know. Who are you? What are you going to be known for? All right? Na kama haujui, anza kuuliza. Get 3 people who are very honest with you. Because people can lie, yeah? Those people who can tell you truth to your face. Waambie, tell me 3 things I'm good at. You're assertive, you're confident, but you're a liar. Drop the lying part, all right? So get to know yourself, build a community, then you're good to go. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Anne, for that. And I think an important point that you mentioned in your points is that start now. Use what is available in your hands, right? You don't have to wait till you're up there for you to start working on it. Start from where you are and what is available. Thank you for that. Moving on to Omanyala. So Omanyala, you've shared your journey with us, but then I'm sure you've worked with partnerships, you've worked with other partners to help you get to where you are. It has taken a lot of discipline. It has taken a community to guide you through all this process. So how can the young people leverage partnerships and the community around them and discipline of importance to build a sustainable brand towards financial success?
Yeah, along the way, as you grow as a young person, you'll get so many people coming to support you. Some will be there because of who you're becoming. Some will be there because of what you're doing. But you need to start defining that bringing that difference that these guys are bringing in you. For me, when I started, nobody believed in me. Nobody wanted even to associate with me because they never believed in the dream that I had. But now when people started seeing these guys becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, now you start attracting the partnerships. And for sure, the partnerships have been so good to me. because at this level of athletics, in sprinting, you cannot survive. Because imagine you're traveling from February to September, you're moving in all continents. And our races are not like marathons. Marathons, you do 3 races a year. Sprinting, you do up to 45 or 30 races a year. And you need to travel. Every time you're traveling, you're spending money. Every time you're going to these races, you're spending money. And the bad thing about athletics at the professional level is the money you're making this year will help you next year. So you need to have something to sustain you this year. So that's where the partnerships came through. And I want to advise you young people that at some point you guys are going to make a lot of money. You're going to become big people in this society. Remember what made you start. At some point you might lose the motivation because you've made a lot of money. You've become a big business person, so now you've forgotten your business and handed it over to other people. And those people really don't have that dream that you had. So that business will collapse. So now that's where the discipline part comes in. You need to remember why you started. You need to remember the motive of why you're doing this thing. Because now, when partners come in, life becomes easier. And when life becomes easier, you start being reluctant. Because now you wake up every day and you know that whatever I've been working for the last 3-4 years will just work for me. I give you a scenario like the last 2 seasons for me has been difficult because at some point I lost motivation. The things that I've been working for, I already had it. When I started, I wanted to become a pro sprinter. I wanted to become the best sprinter in the world. At some point, I got to the 10th fastest man in history. And then after achieving all these goals, in 2023, I had a very good season. So coming into 2024 and 2025, I didn't have any reason to work hard because I was working for a house, I have a house. I was working for cars, I have cars. I was working for money, I have the money. So now where the motivation is it coming from? So I never had motivation for the last 2 seasons until 3 months ago when I got an injury. I got a very bad injury, and then thank God to Bishop here. He prayed for me at some point and the injury disappeared. But before that, that was an awakening call for me because that was a trigger point for me. Now I have all these sponsors. Everybody is now questioning and sending emails, and people are asking what's happening, why you're canceling your races. You've worked hard to get into a Diamond League final, but then you're not going to run in the Diamond League final because of an injury. So at that moment, I got awakened, and then I realized I just can't wake up today and run fast. I need to work hard for that. I had forgotten at some point the dream had become cloudy. I had forgotten that I need to work hard for everything that I had. So now you're getting into races and you're being unashindwa na watoto wa high school. In South Africa, I was beaten by a high school kid, and I didn't imagine that this is something that can happen because I lost sight of why I started. But now the motivation is back, guys. Musiniangalie na huruma. Motivation is back. So now that was an example that I was giving, that you need to stay disciplined to the root cause of what you started. You need to you need to remember why you started doing what you're doing. So such like things now, once you get to a point you're winning this, you're being selected to become the person that's going to be awarded that money. Don't forget why you started. At this point, I know the motivation is too high because there's something you're chasing. But then what happens once your business has grown so big? Remember that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Omanyala. So I think we'll take a question or two for each of the panelists. So if you have any questions for the panelists. So I think another mic can go here.
Yes, thank you. My name is Peter Ochungo, a university student at the University of Choice, a journalism student. So my question, I have only two. Going straight to news broadcaster. We are in this field together, and we know at times when you started your story, you said that when somebody tells you that you are good at broadcasting, you pick that. When somebody else also tells you that you are good at photography, you also pick that. In this line of media practitioner, we know that it leads to a confusion moment where a journalist can't identify him or herself in a field that best suits him or her. how can we help that child? Or how can we help that student? Another one, and this now goes to Director, Dr. Fred. I'm a radio presenter and a program runner. I run a program at 103.9 Mmust FM every Monday to Friday as from 8 to 10. On Thursday, we always discuss business, and this is being an entrepreneur summit, because we believe that we don't want to leave it here. Can you have a chance with 103.9 Mmust FM so that at least we host you, then you continue advocate this to our young students who are stranded, who are confused, so that at least they build the economy. Thank you.
Asante sana. Do we have another Bishop? You want to answer? Okay, let's give Bishop first.
Are you bored? If you are bored, say amen. Oh, okay. Let me just answer briefly. What we want to do with the businesses is to create a reality show. As we are training these people, we shall be showing their stories on social media. We shall be following them, and we want to use the journalism department of Mmust. Ni nyinyi mtaenda kwa hizo mabiashara za watu, mtulete hizo stories zao. Go and interview the parents. How is the business impacting the parents? Go and interview, are they in a relationship? Huyu mtu anaishi na mtu. Ako aje? Ako na mtu ama hana? We want the authentic stories of these business owners. And these authentic stories, tuko na Willis Raburu hapa. Tuko na Ann Jogu. Tuko na Omanyala. Tutazionyesha. We are building a social media where we shall be having a reality show. Hata tuki-eliminate a business, you'll know why this one has been eliminated, why the rest are going forward. So we will need the journalists. You don't need to host me in Mmust. We shall get your stories, and we are the ones to host you on our platforms. Thank you.
Asante sana, makofi ya Bishop. Ann Jogu, you want to answer his question? His first question, please.
I don't know whether I got your question very right, sir, but allow me first of all to say that you have a very, very nice voice. Actually, I wanted to ask whether you're on radio, because if you're not on radio, ulikuwa unafaa kuanza mapema. Sawa? So we talked about identifying, especially for those in the media. How do I identify that you have a good gift? Number one is the community around you. All right? What do they say about you? And you need to be very perceptive, and listen with an inner ear, if there's something like that. Get to hear. If you're deliberate, you will know what they are saying about you. Number two, you are a radio manager yourself. I'm also a supervisor. So I have made it my business actually to mentor aggressively the people around me, because I call it purpose. Yourself, I want to believe you have a team. You have a team of how many? You need how many people? You're a presenter. All right. So for those who are supervisors like us, it is our business to identify the people around us and get to know their talents, get to know their calling, because at the end of the day, it's all about impact. All right? But there is something I remember my bishop talked about, and I don't know whether Bishop you remember. You said you grew up as an introvert. But the trade you're in does not allow you to stay in a corner alone. You had to work on yourself and come out of the introversion. Because you know what you're doing, you need people. And the people around you are the currency, all right? So it is you to get to know yourself, ask people about you, then work on yourself. And actually the world becomes an oyster, and the sky is not even a limit. Thank you, Sarah.
Asante sana. We have one there. Yes, please.
Yeah, my name is Mulama Teris Mumia. I am an athletics, singer, dancer, and rapper. And my question goes to Omanyala. One of the things that I love about there's something you said back then. You said that confidence sounds like arrogance to people who don't believe in themselves. And then ukitendea huko wanasema Omanyala kona pride, Omanyala kona pride. So how do you handle those people wanasemanga Omanyala kona pride, but I love what you're doing. I've followed all your races. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, whatever you say, that quote, I love it so much, because when you're too confident, people think you're cocky. But then, like I said when I started, we're in a country where people do middle and long distances. We have really not associated ourselves with our sprints work. In sprints, you get into a start line, and a guy from the USA shouts something that gets into your head. You know, if you that kind of a person who is like under your shades and you're just there and thinking that this sport is not as unfair as it is, then it's a problem. So that's why every time when people see me on the screens, they think I have so much pride. Of course, I'm a cocky guy because of the sport that I'm doing. Our sport is like boxing. You understand? You can't show up in a boxing match not showing your confidence. And I win races most of the time from the press conference. We get into a press conference, I tell the Olympic champion, you're not going to beat me. And then that's how it starts. My mind is focused on not this guy not beating me. And how my mind thinks and where my mind goes is where my body will follow. So anytime you see me on the screens, anytime you see me speaking on press conferences, I'm getting into the heads of my competitors. And our races are won from there. If not the press conferences, our races are won in the warm-up. You get into a warm-up area. I remember in 2021, the Olympic Games, it was my first encounter into such a big event. And you are the warm-up area, and sprinters are lining up. We start when we are doing our warm-ups and trying to test our blocks. So you get the best 8 sprinters in the world then had put their blocks in all the lanes. There's no lane for you to warm up. So what happens? Will you chicken out and go and sit down and say, these guys can't leave a lane for me to warm up? Come and take off the block and put it aside and warm up. So that's how you need to interact. In life, confidence will take you far. You walk into a boardroom and the guys you are interviewing, you seeing, you're shaking, you don't believe in yourself. You won't get that job. You won't get that opportunity. This forum that we have here, anytime you're presenting, I'm hoping that you can have guys come to Nairobi for the last panel judgment. When you get into that stage, will you fidget or will you show the confidence? The confidence will sell you out. So anytime you show into these interviews or you're presenting your stuff, believe in yourself. Anytime I'm showing into a race, it doesn't matter if I have an injury or not. I believe that what I've done in the past has put me there. And I'm supposed to be there. It's not that it's a favor. So anytime I'm there, anytime I'm being called upon to come to race, I need to ooze a lot of confidence in me. So yes, I mean, I'm a very humble person, by the way, because I believe we're here for a short while, right? This world is not our home. And there's this one thing that I live by every time, that the first bath and the last bath will be done by someone. So why be so much of pride and you never know what happens tomorrow? Another one says that we work so hard to a life that can end any time. So as much as we're working so hard to make our lives better, remember, stay humble. So I'm humble as a person, but on the track I'm not. So most people see that life of that side of me. That's why people say I'm a bit arrogant, but I hope you've gotten it now.
Asante sana Ferdinand Omanyala. Wapi makofi at the panel? Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. Asante sana. There is another question burning, one more please. Itakuwa sawa. We need to go to the next session. Moja basi. Asante.
Yes, thank you. So my question is being directed to Bishop. I had a question.
Bishop will come to us. Can you hold that to Kamuliza stage? He's coming.
Yeah?
Bishop is coming next.
Okay.
So
thank you.
A good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen. My question goes to Anjogo and to Omanyala. Number one is, how do you handle criticism and failure? Number two, if you are to go back 5 years or 10 years in time, what will you tell your younger version? Or what will you tell your younger version if you are to go back to time? And number three is, what will be your message to younger youths in Kenya who are chasing their dreams? Thank you.
Asante sana. Can we take just another question so that you can combine them, please? Hapo sawa. Yes, wacha nipate the lady pale nyuma, sio?
Thank you so much. I would like to ask Omanyala, like, what is your anchor point? Even through demotivation and all those chaos that you've been through, what was your anchor point? And my second question to Anjogu is, what is the one thing that you are intentional about when it comes to your audience and how you speak? What is the one thing that you carry with so much importance for you to portray your message? Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Joseph Ogwada from Senior University. I'll ask this question, and the question is going to both of them and kind of related to some speakers that talked earlier on. There's someone who said, and they've talked about that, carrying your dream by yourself, like, yeah, there is a community, but you're supposed to believe in yourself. So, how can you make other people trust in your dream? You know, you may have a dream, and you find people surrounding you, they are not trusting in your dream. So, like that, how can you make other people trust in your dream? I also have another question, but it goes to Bishop. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to ask. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Please.
I hope I'll remember all the segments of the question from the lady. Number one, you asked about how do I handle criticism and failure. I'll give you an example. When I was starting out in Radio Maisha, I was poached from KBC. I was on air. And I remember somebody sent a message to me and they said, this lady is from Central Kenya. Anajua Kiswahili gani? Wacha aende akauze nyanya sokoni. All right? And that's your first day on air in a big radio station. You know what I did? I ignored. And with time, the person, I think maybe who criticized me, had to buy into me, because with consistency and getting to know who I am and delivering quality, because you cannot compromise on what you're giving out, all right? They might doubt you in the beginning, but if you're consistent, you deliver quality, you know what you're doing, all right? You will go far. The second question is, if I was to go back maybe 10 years ago, what would I do differently? Number one, the power of mentorship. Number one, the power of mentorship. By the way, don't take it for granted that we have Akinaraburu here, we have Bishop here, we have Omanyala and myself here pouring into you. Because what does mentorship do? It shortens your journey. It gives you insights that on your own you will not get, all right? Number three, what would I do differently? I think I would have gotten on social media a little earlier, mapema kidogo, na nijue how to curate my content so that we don't play a lot of catch up. And with that, I'll give you an example. I remember I have always believed, but now I have changed, that I'm on radio. I don't need to be seen. Si lazima watu waniona wanasikia sauti yangu. So one day I went into my former boss's office. Yeah? Akaniuliza, Anjogu, why are you not on Twitter? That time ilikuwa inaitwa Twitter, not X. Why are you not on Twitter? Nikamwambia, no, me I love my private life. Why do I need to show myself pale kwenye mtandao? Akaniuliza a question. If Donald Trump, the president of America, is on Twitter, who are you? The same day, I went on Twitter and I started building my profile. So I would be on social media mapema. The other part of the question, can I remember the other part of the question, what you asked, boss? I don't know that we've covered all. I think so.
I asked about what are you intentional about when it comes to your audience? What is it that you normally carry with so much importance when you go on air every time? What is of intention?
Okay. I call my journalism solution-based journalism. And I got to know myself, I am not an entertainment presenter. So kingoja, I know Raburu is an entertainment presenter, right? Sindio, unachachisha show, yani watu wanasema, yeah? I am not that kind of a presenter, all right? So what I do when I go on radio, I make sure I come out of that on-air booth with impact. And how do I do that? Every guest that I invite in the studio, whether it is a doctor, it's a business person, it is somebody who has a story to tell, has impact for my audience. And actually the proof is on my social media, the DMs, they're always full. Mtu anasema, oh Anjogu, ulibadilisha maisha yangu. Yule guest ulileta kwa studio, aliniambia kitu fulani, nimefungua biashara, akanipatia advice. So when I go on air, I have, by the grace of God, to come out of on air with impact for my audience. Thank you, Sarah.
Fadi? Yeah, I just put some of the questions that you asked down. So I'll start with, how do you handle criticism? At some point in my discussion, I told you about, remember why you started. And when I started, I remember I mentioned it to someone. I told him, at this point, I'm really yearning to get a global medal. But now, the patience that I'm having right now, I'm being patient with around over 20 million people. But when I started, I was being patient alone, or maybe just 3 or 4 other people. So now, you need to remember the 3 or 4 other people that were with you when you started. Everybody else who is coming to criticize you, to say bad things about you, it's either they hate you or they don't like what you're doing. Or maybe they want to be in that position that you are. And they're asking themselves, why not me? So the only thing that I can do is buy a 20 MB bundle and go there and criticize this guy and tell him you're doing nothing. But then you have to remember that these guys are not paying your bills. If I say today that I'm retiring, there will be so many people who will be happy. But then will I be happy? No, I don't think so. So you always remember that it's on you to do what you have to achieve so that you change your life. So that's on criticism. For me, it really doesn't affect me as much. It's okay to criticize. We are so many people and so many eyes are looking at us. But then there's that criticism that comes in a different tone that's really not nice. But as celebrities, you have to take that. You have to wear a thick skin because everything has to be said every day. And just talk about me, man. Just talk about me. Be it negative or positive, just keep the conversation going. Another thing that was asked, my anchor point. Why did I start? That's one thing that I always ask myself. And one thing that I always remember is the achievements that I've had to go through in the past. And as I go towards the next 8 years of my active sprinting, I want to be the person who touched most lives. I want to be the person who encouraged as many people as possible to change their mindset and to change how they're thinking. Because I'm sure I'm not just inspiring athletes, I'm inspiring a whole generation of people from different professions, because now they can believe and do things that people think they can't do. So that's what I want to go down with, and that's a big motivation to me to just keep going and wake up every day, go through the pain, go back to that field that made you go through the pain yesterday, and keep working and getting stronger and faster. What will I tell my younger self? 5 years ago, I'll tell myself never to put pressure on myself and worry about things that are out of control, because nature has a way of just putting things together for you. Just do what you can and let everything else, I'll say let everything else lie on God's hands, because sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves and we end up messing. Like in sprinting, if you want to run faster, you have to stay relaxed. If you put so much pressure on yourself, you'll run very badly, because now you're tightening up your muscles, your strides are shortening, and you're not moving as fast as you want. But the day that you tell yourself, today, sina pressure manze, naingia hii race tu with the end goal ni kujienjoy. End goal ni to make sure that I put this race in one of the best memories of myself and my fans. That's the race that you run faster. So the same thing applies to life. Ukijipea so much pressure, I don't think you'll achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Next question, let me see. Advice to young people. I know we're in a generation where we want things instant. We're living in a generation where social media has taken precedence. And trust you me, whatever you're seeing on social media is not what these guys are going through. Someone may wake up in the morning and post a very good video, but then at the end of the day, hata hana food ya kuweka kwa table. But then you're putting pressure on yourself so much because this guy is living this life. In Nairobi or anywhere in this country or anywhere in this world, people hire cars, people hire choppers. You might hire, unaweza tafuta loan, uende hire chopper, and then you take that video, take that post and post on social media, and then now uko hapo unasema manze, nataka kuishi life ya mse. So just be yourself. So advice to young people, itajipa tu. For me, it took me 4 years to break 10.4 seconds to 9.9 seconds. That's a difference of 0.4 seconds. 3 years to break that. Every time I'm going into a race, nakimbia 10.3. Anytime I'm running, going into a race, nakimbia 10.4. I'm wondering when will it come to fruition what I'm dreaming about. But then the consistency, the discipline, and the never giving up attitude. That's one thing I want to encourage the young people. You might get into a field, you'll not be successful in a month, you'll not be successful in 2 months. Stop believing on things that you're seeing on social media. Atutaingia kwa biz leo, kesho utakuwa millionaire. It doesn't work like that. And remember, good things take time. I'm so proud of myself because I'm enjoying it. I've been consistent for the last 5 years because I worked hard for the foundation to be built in a proper way. Ningekuwa mzee mwingine ningetaka kuteka shortcut, but then shortcuts are always the long ways. So advice to young people, chill tu. Waomba God, piga janta, kila kitu itakam to pass, ndio?
Asante sana. Wapi makofi yao tafadhali? Let's clap for them as they leave stage tafadhali. Asante. Let's all be upstanding. Tuwashukuru tusio. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali, makofi. Na mkumbuke, unajua Fadili mtu mzito sana. Akitoka hapa Hilux inamgoja pale nje. Anajulikana kama ni Toyota Hilux brand ambassador, among other ambassadorial duties that he has. Kindly let's take our seats. Right about now, because of time, I'd like to invite the next panel session. Sarah, sijui mbona umeshuka. Baki tu pale juu. Asante sana. In this next panel session, we'll be discussing the future of work and talent, adapting skills and emerging opportunities. Adapting skills for emerging opportunities. I'd like to invite on stage Bishop Dr. Fred Akama. Wapi makofi yake tafadhali? Makofi ya Bishop Dr. Fred Akama. I'd like to invite on stage the director Base Radio, bridging technology and media to build a business. He's none other than Albert Rono. Makofi ya Albert Rono. Now, this guy I'm going to introduce next, he's a gentleman, a short story, sekondi mbili, sawa. Last year but one, I had a task to create a show on KTN to compete with him because his numbers were very high. I produced that show, my friend, unasikia kuhema. Let's give it up for Wabebe Willis Raburu. Asante sana. And just to remind you, they'll be talking about the future for work and talent, adapting skills for emerging opportunities. Karibu sana. Sarah, take it away.
Thank you, Brian, for that. So I think we'll begin with a quick round of introduction so that we can just hear the voices as we begin. We begin with Willis.
All right. Pole bana. Pole sana. Mko aje? Mko sawa? Okay, sema wabebe. Sema wabebe. Okay, hiyo ni mzuri, hiyo ilikuwa ya MCA hapa. But sema wabebe. Very good. Hi, my name is Willis Raburu, media personality, and I think I can say comfortably, most recently media owner. Now, yes, I'll explain why. But I'm so happy to be here. Na nimeshukuru sana.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I think I'd like to thank Dr. Akama for inviting us here as Base Radio. It's an honor, it's a pleasure, and it's a beautiful opportunity, especially since Base Radio is a data-driven. It's a beautiful opportunity because Base Radio is a youth-driven platform, so it's an honor and it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Albert Rono. We run Base Radio together with Safaricom. We do the production and everything for them, but it's in partnership with Safaricom, and we're glad to be here today.
Naitwa Bishop.
Thank you so much. It seems like we have an exciting panel before us. So going back to Willis, he just said that you're now a media owner. Yes. And I think we've seen your transition. Your transition has been quite interesting all through. And I would like you to share...
Kwanza hii kit inaweza Naona inayumba yumba hivi. Iko better. Haya, transition.
Thank you for that. And I think just following the footsteps of being adaptable.
Yes.
So how has it been for you in terms of transitioning, and what role has adaptability played in your transition journey? And probably share with the young people, what have you leveraged in the process of transitioning? And I know we are in the age of AI. Probably speak to that as well, even as you talk about your transition.
Okay, that is a loaded one. Okay, hata mimi by the way kama Anjogu hapa hivi, I started as an intern first at K24, where I did a couple of months because I was in third year. I was in Moi University, Eldoret, tuko ndani Cheptiret. So I went for a brief while hapo K24. Hapo nikakutana na, I was telling Bishop that these days after Baba alikufa, ni kama the fear ilinitoka. So now I can mention names. There was the editor there called John Mendwa. Aliniambia I will never have a voice for TV. Sitawahi kuwa kitu. Na akaniambia I won't make it. But sitting next to John Mendwa at the time was another gentleman who you all know called Jeff Koinange. And used to hear how this guy used to talk to me. And one day, I was leaving the building up K24 ko Nairobi Lone Row House, yes. And the elevator kafunguka ting. Then Jeff akatokelea hapo hivyo, nywele ina shine kama kawaida. Akasema, don't worry about what they say, my brother. One day everybody will know your name. And amen. Okay, he didn't say amen, but yeah. And I went back to school. I think I was more energized, more happy. And then Alex Chamoda came to Moi University to give a talk. Alex Chamoda came, Julie Gishuru came, and Caroline Mutoka, I think. No, Julie Gishuru. And they spoke about how media is. But I liked what Alex said, because Alex said that in media, sometimes things can get very difficult. And when you know this is how it is, you must just be ready not to have a social life. So I was like, oh, okay, at least somebody is telling me the truth about this thing. So I applied to be an intern. This is in 2010, in April. And by the time I was doing my last paper in school, and they had already they had already picked sort of the set of interns, because now we were about a day late. And so to move the story along, I asked Alex Chamada for Mercy Oburu's number. And I called her I pestered. I think I called her from around noon. Hakuwa anashika nakata. Anapiga anasema I'm in a meeting. Oh, we've already taken the interns. Maybe try another day. Then I called back Chamwada. I say, hey, Mercy anasema imeshaisha. Akasema, sometimes when somebody tells you no, it is also the Lord. Maybe it is not your time. Mina nilikuwa najua it's my time. So I called and called. I think we called until now she was on her way home. This is like 5:30 p.m. Akasema, okay, fine. Come tomorrow. If you come at 8:01, I won't see you. If you come at 7:59, I won't see you. Come at 8 o'clock sharp. Long story short, I went. She did the interview for me being an intern up for reception too. And then when I got into Citizen, I remember there are so many rules for interns. First of all, you're not paid, number one. Number two, you're not supposed to be, like your face is not supposed to be seen, right? You can just do your voice. But remember, I'm coming from being told my voice is not good. So already I had that. But lucky for me, at Moi University, there was a radio station, had about a 5-kilometer radius, Moi University FM. So I used to practice there. I used to do I used to do the morning show, go to class, take a break, come back and do what is now the drive show. So I would do the morning and the drive show. And so I was very used to the microphones. By the time I was going to okay. By the time I was going to there, wakaniambia, fine, your voice is now good. Although walikata, my middle name is Wayne. Yeah, mimi ni, I come from the region there. Actually, my full names are Willis Wayne Edwin Opio Otondi Raburu. Yes.
Repeat that one.
So I signed off Willis Wayne, Citizen at 1. Wakasema, hapana kwani wewe ni mzungu. Hauna jina ingine. But it's because of, I've always wanted to carve an identity for myself. At the time, I thought being called Raburu, everybody will talk about my dad, who was a provincial commissioner. So they'll start treating me different. And then people will say I made it because of my dad. Yet, I didn't want that for myself. So anyway, I did everything they said not to do. I hustled my way until my voice was approved. And then I befriended the camera people, which is a thing you need to do when you enter any space. Make sure you honor and respect everybody. Like I came here today, for example, and there was a gentleman who, Derek Akwapi, he's called Derek Nole. Is it Derek? Derek, or rather his handle is de.rick7676 on Instagram. And he was taking videos using his phone. Na nikamwambia ukimaliza na hizi videos utanitumia. Na amenitumia mimi nisha post that I'm here. I have tagged him because he's the one who created the video, and already it has over 7,000 views. So, everywhere that you go, you could be the most important person, but if you don't treat the watchman correct, hiyo nyumba hutaingia. If you don't talk to the secretary well, if you don't talk to the janitor, but then the people who know the secrets, ni wale wana clean, wanajua siri, because people tend to avoid them. Actually, that's how I got a pay rise someday, because I had them talking about, so unajua nani analipwa 250,000 na anafanyanga tu story moja. Na kina Willis wako tu kwa 35. So now that I knew what somebody else is paid, I used that information and went and got a pay raise. But anyway, story for another day. So I hustled my way through. I got into being a presenter. I did a story that called the Maasai Rites of Passage that they loved. I did a piece to camera, which means like you appear, people see you at the end of your story, which they refuse people to do. But I was like, my mom always tells me, the worst thing somebody can do to you ni kukuchapa. So kama hata kuchapa, we fanya bana. Kwani hata kuchapa? So I was like, kwani watanichapa? So wataniambia tu usifanye tena. But I kept pushing the envelope, voicing stories. And then back in school, Moi University, everybody knows me as a comedian. You see how Churchill show, I used to have a show. I used to charge people 30 shillings. It was called Wayne Live. And I used to do comedy. How many of you know Madia, Tyler Perry? Yeah, so I used to dress up like Madia wasn't there then, but I used to have an alter ego. Nilikuwa navaa dem najiita Penaina, and that was my comedy side. So anyway, so I knew that I would not do news for long. So I did news. Then I felt it was time for me to try anchoring, because that's what I had always wanted to do since I was 7 years old. I went, I was told, Mara unasimama kama Masai. I think I did like maybe 5 or 6 of them. For those of you in the media circles, if you know a lady called Farida Karone, she was very strict, very harsh, but so she's the one who had to approve me. So I did that. I started anchoring news now. And then after that, I was like, but I still feel like, when you're reading news, you're very president. Who's the president? That's the president. I almost forgot. One time. President William Ruto today in Nairobi visited and with Ambassador so-and-so. So you're very straight, you're very formal. And yet between 10 over 10 and news, I like 10 over 10. But I had to do this one, at least to pay the bills. But then I decided, when Citizen TV did a research, and they found out that the people who are watching were 35 and above. So all the young people were not watching all the shows. That means, and Citizen by that time had been number 1 for 10 years, which means somebody started watching at 25, and now they're 35. So they tasked us to come up with a show. And so that's how we came up with 10 over 10. And then I just started doing so many things, because I believe I had Dr. Miles Monroe one day say that, don't leave this earth. You have to leave this earth empty, which means everything God has put inside you to do, you can do. So at Citizen, this was my schedule. I used to wake up and do TV in the morning, 6 to 9, then I take a break. At 10 o'clock, I'm already doing the mid-morning show, Hot 96, from 10 to 1. I take a break at 1, go to TV and read news, Citizen at 1, then come back, wrap up my radio, and then go now to the newsroom to do my 9 o'clock story. And then now that was Monday to Thursday. So on Friday, I do all of that. plus 10 over 10. And then after 10 over 10, the next day I would read news over the weekend. So at one point, I think I was doing 5 things at Roll Media. Now the salary was not reflecting yet. Because pia ukikubali kutumiwa, watakutumia. However, after a while, it became like Anjogu. So even me, when I was on 10 over 10, clients would say, if Willis is on leave or if Willis is on break, we are not going to come to advertise. So then I use that. I'm like, if a client can see my worth to that extent, then I can call and tell these people, see, increase my salary. Wakakata. Lakini, I was a student also of PR. So I said, the best way to do this thing, and I've never told this story anywhere, is to plant a story. Or Manyalo told you, don't believe everything on social media. So Larry Mado was leaving the trend. So I planted a story in the blogs that I was the one supposed to replace Larry Mado. I was going to replace Larry. So my bosses started panicking. I said, yani ujama ataenda. Then now the bosses at NTV took it seriously and called me like, would you be interested in something like this? So I said, okay, let me take the meeting. But I made sure the meeting was in a very public place so that people can see that Willis has met with, okay, that name I won't say, with the person from NTV. And so people started calling my boss, nimeona Willis ako na huyu msee na ni mdosi wa NTV. Willis anaenda. The vice chairperson of Roll Media was in South Africa. Because now, you know, if you want to effect, for those who are in journalism or any field, and anybody knows, if you want to make any change, and even you know, talk about the numbers. If a producer, a listener, a show is bringing numbers, it has the attention of everybody at the top. So she landed immediately from South Africa and called me and said, my son, ninasikia unaenda NTV. Nikamwambia, hapana mama mimi naweza kukuacha kweli. So anyway, that's how I got in fact, I didn't just get a salary rise, I got 2 million shillings just to stay. But I knew that my shift, as you talk about transition, I knew that one day, and I used to tell them, if one day I feel like now it is becoming a job to actually do these things, because I was enjoying myself, then I'll stop, because that will mean, because I'm also spiritual, that will mean the grace has lifted, and now I'm taking the place of somebody else. Yeah, and if you want to know if the grace has lifted, is things that used to be easy to do all of a sudden become hard. And it just feels like now it's so heavy, it's such a chore. And sometimes it's God just trying to stretch you to do the next thing. Just like the eagles, how it pushes the birds out of the nest. So I thought about it for about 1.5 years, toying with this idea of moving. I didn't know what I'm going to do. At that time, Larry had also now left and now was on BBC. So I called him and said, hey man, how did you just leave NTV? Did you have a plan? He told me, no, I didn't have a plan. I just had 3 months of savings and I knew I had to leave, and I just took a risk and a chance. So I said, okay. I went, I talked to my wife. I said, Sasa, I want to quit this thing. Now remember, this is a job that gave me 2 million just to stay, and my salary was also good. So she asked me, so what's the plan? I said, I don't have one. However, let's play worst case scenario. Is that if things fail, what happens? My kids at that time were 2 years and 1 year. If this thing fails, tunaenda Kisumu, tuishi Kisumu na wazazi. By that time, people had talked about me on social media, just like Ofuneki. They talked about my divorce. They talked about me losing my baby. They were talking about my weight. They talked about when I almost, when I was trending for, by mistake, tweeting that Biwot had died. So I was used to being trolled online. So I was like, kuongea tu kwa hii kitu, no itakosa, nisiishi maisha yangu. So tutaenda Kisumu na tuishi. So I was already ready the worst case scenario. So I took the leap, and I remember I was sitting in the sitting room on a chair, and I was just quiet because I like having some quiet time, and I just asked God, do you really think I can make it out there? And I literally heard him say, jump, just jump. And I also started thinking, by the way, all these years, 13 years, Kwani, I've been doing it myself. It's obviously the grace of God. There is no favor. All that 2 million didn't come because I am super bright. yes, I'm doing a good job, but there's also the favor of God at play. So I jumped. I didn't have anywhere to go, which is not advisable, by the way. I'm not saying today that you do that. You know, they normally say plan, do 6 months, have a plan, have a structure, but sometimes you just feel like the cage is not enough. So I transitioned then. Then from there, I jumped and went to the county. Hey. County is another animal altogether. And because they were asking me to do some things that were not aligning to my morals, I quit. Then as I was chilling, why this is very good to have relationships, as I was in Citizen, at one point, the chairman of Mount Kenya University had called Mwakazi to go to Rwanda to help him set up a station, and then Mwakazi called me as well to go. So we built a rapport. So this guy, he called me. He said, Willis, nasikia huna kazi, si kuja hapa TV47 tufanye kazi. And I remember when I went to TV47, they were number 12. Their show were not doing so well. But I think in 3 months, they jumped to number 7 since my show came on air because of the numbers. And we were really moving, because I remember at 10 over 10, when I was at the peak of 10 over 10, we had 3.5 million viewers every week. And that's because it's Citizen. When I left, it dropped to about 900,000. And then the number 2 was the trend, which was 500,000. By 3 months at TV47, I was already at 450,000. So tungeendelea hivyo, tulikuwa tunaenda kuwatoa. Lakini then again, and Churchill, I wish he was here, would tell you sometimes also if you don't negotiate your contract so well, they kind of muzzle you out. So that's why I left now. And by that time, when I was in campus, by the way, I wrote down in my book, and I found it the other day, that I'm going to one day own my own station. So I wrote down the name of my company, which is Zion Limited, Stewards of Zion. And I said, this one is going to one day own a media station. And now, that is what Wabebe XP is. It's actually a digital media station, which is my point to say, shameless plug. You can search, you can go to www.wabebexp.com, or on YouTube, Wabebe XP Africa _Willis Raburu. You'll find there, subscribe. For now, it is free. We have about 8 shows over there already. A cooking show, of course, because I love food. We have a youth center show. We have, which is like 10 over 10. We have a show called The Vibe. We have a series I'm doing, like, you know how Awinja does Disco Matanga and Astoto. We have a series called Family Alexis. I've already shot season 1 and 2. So we are rolling out. So now, by the grace of God, I've now transitioned to media owner. And I'm happy, yes, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, I took too long.
It's okay, thank you, Willis. I'm sure we've all enjoyed the story, right? And I'm sure you have questions, but just hold on. So we move on to Albert. So Albert, from your experience, I'm sure at Base Radio and Safaricom, you work with a lot of young people. So what would be that advice that you'd give, especially the young creatives, in terms of commercializing their talent? What are those things that they need to look out for, even as they commercialize their talent, especially in this digital era?
I think first and foremost is for them to identify their talent. So the key thing is to make sure that you identify your talent. And as you identify your talent, it's not what everybody does. So I think the first thing is to identify your talent, which is very key. And as Ferdinand and as Anne mentioned, identifying and carving out your talent is the most important step. And that's the point to start from. And then start harnessing it, start building it slowly, start slowly. So as Anne maybe even mentioned, look at it from a point of how many people can I ask that can give me 3 things or 3 good things about what I do. And if it's in journalism, 3 people who can say, okay, you're good at journalism, then you start harnessing that slowly by slowly. And as you start harnessing that, you build a brand. And if you look at everybody who's spoken today, Dr. Foneke, Bishop Akama, and both Anne and Ferdinand, and also Willis has mentioned, The first and most important thing is to build your brand. So as you grow your talent, building your brand, slowly by slowly, you will start getting recognition from different spaces. And as she had asked about building awareness and creating adaptability, basically. How do you adapt to new age media? Terrestrial stations, people used to go on live radio, people would go on live TV. But now you have digital media, you have social media, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have TikTok. I mean, you can literally become an overnight star using these platforms. And so by harnessing your brand, understanding your talent, creating your talent, harnessing your brand, growing it, building it, you will then get recognition from these bigger brands.
Thank you for that, Albert. Brian, I think we can get ready for the questions, and I think probably Dr. Fred Akama, you could be telling us what mindset shift do the young people need even as they transition their talent to career?
Okay, it's getting dark and we are live, so I wanted us to go straight to questions so that we can be able to close. It's getting a bit dark. We shall be doing mind shift to when we enter the training. Kitu moja wacha niwaambie kakitu, hao watu wote wanapenda Yesu. Na ni watoto yangu ya kiroho. Huyu ni anapenda, ameokoka huyu, na yeye ndiye alitengeneza Base Radio. Hii wisdom inatoka kwa Mungu. Akona Base Radio pale Safaricom. Hii jamaa, wacha usifikirie mambo ya 10 over 10 isikupoteze. Hii jamaa imeokoka. Akitoka 10 over 10, wabebe pale, yeye Mungu anambeba. Yeye anabebwa na nani? Yeye anabebwa na nani? Mungu. Mimi nimetembea na huyu. Huyu ni mtoto yangu. Ameokoka huyu. Hii mambo yote uliona social media tumekuwa na yeye. When things were thick on social media, I went to his house. When the baby passed on, we were there at the hospital very early in the morning to stand with our son. He's a good man. He loves Jesus. Sasa wewe ukipiga sherehe na unasahau Yesu, umebebwa kijinga. Sawa sawa? Sawa sawa? Hii Anjogu ni elder ya kanisa. Hallelujah. Hii Anjogu mnaona ni nini? Elder ya kanisa. Kanisa yetu huyu ni elder. Akitoka kuwa mtoto ya mama anaingia maombi. So don't be fooled. Is that okay? Hii jamaa Omanyala umesikia saa hii akikwambia vile alikuja kanisa tukaomba injury kapotea. Sasa kila mtu hapa anka yao ni Mungu. Anka ni nani? You must have faith for you to be able to move forward because life can throw things at you. Ofweneke mmemsikia hapa tumetoka naye mbali, ni mtoto ya Mungu. Hallelujah. Haya maswali.
Yes.
We'll take only 3 then we wind up.
Okay.
Wacha hata nisimama ndio mjue niko serious.
Yes, so good evening everyone. My name is...
Ongea vizuri. Weka microphone karibu na mdomo.
Okay, so good evening everyone. My name is Eunice from Maseno University. My question is directed to Willis Raburu. It's kind of related to what Miss Anne said about being a jack of all trades. But again, you must be a master of one. So, which criteria must you use for you to identify that one thing that you're good at? Or maybe you can just balance everything at once. Because if you look at Willis, if you look at the music, ako hapo, entertainment ako hapo, ndo hiyo cooking ako hapo. Like, can you just do everything ama ufanye?
Oh, you said he loves food.
Thank you.
Next question. Willis atachukua hiyo and you be short,
Okay, thank you for this opportunity.
Be short. Brief, be brief.
Yes, permit me to direct my question to our director, which says, what should a young African entrepreneurs do to remain competitive in an international market where the state of innovation and speed dominates success? Thank you.
Asante sana. Okay, the last one.
Umeelewa hiyo?
Niende huko mwisho, si ndio?
Enda hii side pia. Hawa watu wamengoja sana. Karibu Yesu arudi.
Naweza kimbia. Omanyala, umeona hiyo mbio?
My name is Mark Fo Chieng. I've been in business for some 3 years.
Unatoka wapi?
I'm from Mmust.
Okay, swali.
I've been in business for 3 years. My business is doing spare parts repair, also the mounting, the springs, and the shock absorbers. So I've been facing this kind of challenges. From my first, I've been...
You see, you have lost me. Can you put your question in 1 minute?
So, for the past three months, I've diverted my business into agribusiness. And now I'm facing some financial problems.
The thing you do, register pale, utaenda through training, will solve your problems.
I'm Dorcas Wanjiru. Okay, my question is, all of you have emphasized on building a brand. My question is, let's say, for example, me, I am limited in financially, I do not have a good camera, and also in terms of sound, I do not know how to produce
Simu
good
yako ni
content.
mbaya.
Yes. So if you were to start from zero, how would you navigate that, and how would you... Yes.
Okay. Kama uko na simu mbaya, hauna Oppo, uko na gani mbaya?
Hakuna yenye mbaya.
Because also in nowadays you have to produce good
Simu
quality
gani
content.
mbaya?
Vivo.
Uko na Redmi?
Vivo.
Uko na Vivo. Kama uko na simu ya Vivo, how do you build a brand? Unachukua photo, inakaa uko na nywele kila mahali. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think I'll start with that one about building a brand, starting from zero. And I'll tell you that the advice I was given some time back when I was new in the social media space, and I had approached a bank, back then Chase Bank, to do a job for them. And I asked somebody, how can I do this job for you? And I'm very new. And I asked one of my other mentors how to do it. And they said, like Ufweneke said, do it for free. Because when I put Chase Bank on my page, people automatically think I've been paid. So it builds my portfolio. In your case, for now, if you can, borrow. It's as simple as that. Because you don't have now, sindio? So borrow your friends or borrow somebody who is around you who has a better phone or quality, and then shoot the content. And as you continue, hopefully you'll get enough to where you can. Meanwhile, if you can also, I know it's hard with the economy, you can be saving. But in the meantime, don't just stop because you don't have. You can borrow and shoot the content and then post it.
Piga na ya rafiki yako.
Just do it.
Usikufe peke yako kwa hostel.
Yeah, just do it with your friends if you can. For now, that will help. Yes, and I do hope that you get a good phone. Maybe I can take your number after this. Tuone kama tunaweza kusaidia. Then somebody here asked about yes, jack of all
balancing,
trades. Jack of all trades. So first of all, for you to know what you're good at, it's simply the thing you can do at ease, and also sometimes without being paid. That thing that comes naturally to you. Like Anne was saying, she had a voice. The teachers wakamwambia wewe, weka stool, simama hapa, recite poem. We'll even write the poem for you. So look for that thing that you do so easily. So that then becomes your main thing. For me, anytime, whether I'm asleep, whatever, right now I can, if something happens out here, I can report about it. This is my friend. The microphone is my friend. And so I use it. So for me, this is the thing I found easily. And I can stand here without doing those things. They say, oh, imagine the audience naked. Oh, look over their head. No, me, I'll just look directly at you and we'll continue talking. So this is what I found is easy for me. And I found it when I was 7 years old. I used to read the newspaper to my mom and tell her one day I'll be on TV. Now, the way you balance is, now once you find that thing that you are very good at, focus on that one. Because sometimes I wanted to finally end up doing a show like 10 over 10. But by the time I was joining Citizen, the opportunity that was available was to read news and to be a reporter. So I started there. And most of these things you can always learn to do. You know, that we have Julie Gishuru, for example, is a trained lawyer. Ken Mijungu is a trained lawyer, but they are very good journalists. And these days, also, even if you're a doctor, a teacher, you can still become a journalist. Dr. Sanjay Gupta of CNN is a doctor, but he's a journalist. So get in fast, that thing that gets you into the door. Start, whether it's an intern, whether you're mopping, whatever it is that gets you in the area where you want to be. Even if they say in this newsroom, hatuna kazi tuko nayo ni ya kumop, ama kukua receptionist. Ingia tu, at least you're now inside. Then find out how the system works and keep moving towards the thing. Once you find that something is getting you money and now you can move forward, then finally over some time you can start managing and moving your way towards what you really like. This is true even of jobs. You can maybe be really good at business, but for now you don't have. So now get a job as you try to read and learn about business and start a business, try, fail, and then you keep on going. So even for me, the thing I love doing, and now, by the way, I'm trying to take a back seat from being up front because I've done it for 13 years and I always feel like it's good to raise up the next generation. So over time, we were speaking with Ferdinand the other day and we had him say here, what can I do for my remaining 8 years of my peak performance? So whenever you get to your trade, know what your timeline is. What is the life cycle of doctors, teachers, journalists, content creators in Kenya? What does it look like? Once you figure out what those things are, then you begin to apply yourself correctly. You know where to put your strength more, you know where to go back a little, and then over time, like Ofuneke said, we can start by saying, rate card yangu ni 50K. But even today, if somebody is to come and tell me, akona 50K, it depends. If Base Radio comes and said, Willis, tumefinyika sana, unaweza kuja na hiyo 50, I might decide to come because when I go and meet him, probably I'll meet Peter Ndegwa, and then I can use that opportunity to pitch for something else. So it depends on you weigh the opportunity as well. I hope I've answered your question. Wagwa.
Yeah, 2 minutes, Mr. Rono.
Okay. A side note, utachukua hiyo 50? So the question was, what should a young entrepreneur do to stay competitive in a new digital age? I think my answer comes in 3 key aspects. One is keep perfecting your talent, keep perfecting your skill. Never get complacent. Always try to make it better. And not to give yourself too much pressure. Just try and make it better. If we all heard what Omanyala said earlier on, he's moved in a span of 3 years to run 3-4 seconds faster. In a span of 3 years. 0.3 seconds, sorry. And what does that take? To keep perfecting your skill. He knows he's talented, you know you're talented. Keep perfecting your skill, keep doing it, keep trying again. And the biggest measure is not your friend or is not the person next to you. You measure against yourself. Make it your next best personal time. Second thing is learn new skills. Keep learning, keep advancing yourself, and keep keeping yourself with the trends, being relevant. And thirdly, I'd say use tools that are available. And we're in an age where social media is booming. Use it to amplify your career. 2, use AI. There's so many ways you can use AI to advance yourself as an individual, to learn new skills, to produce some of these things. And I mean, for us, we even have an AI news production. So whereby the whole news segment is done by AI, both production and voicing of the show. So use these tools that are available to us to enhance and make us better. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Emisha. I want to invite any representative of ABSA. If you're here, I want to emphasize on the importance of relationship. Of what? Relationship. Watu wote wako hapa kwa sababu ya nini? Hakuna mmoja wao amenilipisha. Ama umenilipisha? Hawa wajanilipisha. Umenilipisha? It's because Bishop called Bishop alisema twende, wote wakaingia laini wakakuja. Why? Because niko na relationship na wao. Is that okay? Yes. If I was to assemble this guest, kama ungekuwa una charge kitu kama hii, ungecharge ngapi?
Between 300 to 400k.
Huyu ni mmoja tu, ningelipa hii bazoo 300 to 400,000. Ndio kuja hapa akalishe hiyo makalio yapi kwa kiti. Base radio kama ungekuja
for full day production 400.
For full day production kwa hapa live kwa Safaricom 400,000. Ingebidi nilipe hii. Saramachio huyu anafanyanga hii for a living. She does business, she's a business incubation expert. For you to do business incubation for 1,000 students, how much is that? Around 2.5 million Kenya shillings for business incubation start to finish for 1,000 emerging businesses. Wewe ungeni-charge ngapi fastest man in Africa? 500,000 for 3 hours akae hapa.
Akimbia.
Akimbi amekaa. Lakini tunalipa how much? 500,000. Sasa ukiangalia 400,000, that is 800. 2.5 million, that is how much? 3.3. Half a million, that is how much? 3.8. Anu ngiricharge ngapi? Anu ni 100 tu. 100,000, how much is that? 3.9. Ufweneke angeni charge 400,000. Ndiye akuja hapa aseme Dr. Ufweneke, I am not humble. So I am paying for him to tell you he is not humble. Are you seeing? So how much is that? So this event, the value is about 4 million. Lakini kuna ka student mahali kamejaa hewa kichwani, it was very boring. These people hata wakutupea soda na ujalipa chochote. That's why the people who are still here up to now, you have something in your head, you're very wise and you're getting somewhere. You're getting somewhere. You know value when you see it. But all this, God has saved me 4 million shillings. I have bought it by relationship. I have bought it by what? You need to leverage on the power of relationship. That's why when you bring all the businesses together in Mmust, they can supply each other. Okay. Wewe uko na business ya kuprint, mwingine ako na business ya kuuza karatasi. Mbona anunue ya Nairobi na wewe unauza hapa? Sasa kazi ya Ann itakuwa ni wewe uko na karatasi, supply ile ya kuprint. Wewe unakuwa na ya content creation, wewe ni editing. Get together. Is that okay? So that we leverage on the power of what? Relationship. Mmust. On the power of what? Absa. Celebrate Absa Bank, our partner. Come. Amevaa uniform. We are partnering with Clap. Okay. You celebrate them as I said. It is well. Come. So our training will be done through Clap. Clap is an online classroom app based in Switzerland, and this is represented in the Republic of Kenya. So business yenyu mtakuwa registered into the app called Clap, na tutawa train through there. Is that okay? Panda hapa. Aya, say something. Ndio tufunge.
Hello, good evening. Thank you very much, Daktari, for this opportunity. For us as a bank, you can see the Project Liam banner. It's written Young Entrepreneurs Ignite Program. And empower, innovate, build. As a bank, even our purpose statement says that empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. And in a season where, big corporates even seek spiritual assistance to navigate their strategies. We know what is good. We know what is good. We don't have to go to shrines. You will not see me in a red t-shirt in a shrine somewhere seeking how to do a strategy. No, we know what is good. And as the Daktari was saying, we leverage with relationships. In the banking cycles, we respect what he's done, not only as a man of God, but as a businessman. And many of us will be looking for your signature, sir. But we want to partner with this event because we know it's going to empower the youth. Our agenda, we are developing a lot that is going to do with the next generation, and a lot is going to come. We want to really make sure that we sink it deep, so that this nation grows, our youth grows, because it's been stories ajaba hapa na hapa. But in this season, we want to really come with the bright ideas. As I said about the corporates, when you know our good ideas, Google, Amazon, they look at spiritual, and then they partner. They know this is where the world is heading. So even us as ABSA, when we had that Dr. Akama and, the Project Liam were doing this, we have come fully on board. And we are, actually, I'm here representing my regional manager. All our branch managers in this Western cycle are here, from Kakamega, from Bungoma, from Busia, to even Webuye. My name is Thomas Onyango, by the way. I'm the branch manager of Webuye. So we are fully onboarded in this program, and Daktari will look ahead to even a more structured conversation on how we can create support. But you can count on us that we are going to be with you all the way, because this is value you are creating for the businessmen of tomorrow. So I think my people can just clap, stand up.
ABSA, where are you? ABSA.
I think
celebrate ABSA.
So thank you, Daktari, for the short, for this opportunity. Asante sana. We are on board.
Thank you, ABSA. I want to ask Koitalel, please come. We release you. Have they gone already? They have gone, eh? Okay. Koitalel, 1 minute, so then we can release you. They're traveling far. Come here.
Okay, before we leave, I'd like to ask you a question. It's actually on regard to your blockchain development in economic development. I was asking in regards to how are you planning to integrate with the market, and how are you planning to integrate, because as for the blockchain, under the economics, for you, I know you're looking for the edge.
Make it brief. You are talking too much.
Okay. Okay, to make it brief, I'm just going to say your aim is to develop a sustainable economy that's supposed to support Kenya, to support investing, and to support growth.
How will we connect this to the market?
How do we connect this to our consumers so that we can get it into a beneficial state? And of course, I do have a plan about it.
Okay, I've not understood your question. Are you asking about blockchain or about this program?
The blockchain sustainable economy that you started.
The digital economy? The digital assets?
I think he's talking about your background, because you're in the blockchain business.
Oh, blockchain assets.
Yeah.
Join our course. Hii ni siri yangu, siwezi anza kusema hapa. So Koitalel, we love you. We are coming to Koitalel University on the 17th of January. We have just concluded with your patron, Dr. Aoko. We are coming to Koitalel University on the 17th of January 2026. Begin to get ready for us. Clap. No, this clap.
Oh, that was interesting. So thank you very much, Dr. Fred Akama. I normally call him Papa. If you want to know why, also see me. That's my secret. So thank you very much. We are CLAP. We are based in Switzerland, and our other offices are in South Africa. So I'm their representative in Kenya, and CLAP has also partnered with this platform. I'm also passionate about the young. I work with Don Bosco Tech Africa, which is an Tibet centers, network of Tibet centers, 34 countries in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. Very passionate about the young people. I would like to thank Dr. Fred Akama for this initiative. and it's actually fundable, and CLAP is very excited to partner with you. In fact, they were watching, and the point where the people would speak Swahili, they would tell me to translate. They were actually watching us live. Yeah, they were. Thank you, Aunt Jogu. They noticed you from Switzerland, and this was live in their offices. Thank you very much. I don't take chances with relationship. This is Churchill. Churchill is from Mmust. We already created a WhatsApp group, Club Mmust. I came here at 6 and they already created a WhatsApp group where I can support them even as they join the program. So thank you very much.
So there's already CLAP Mmust edition. There are students here who have joined, already been inducted into CLAP, who will help you as you're joining the app so that you can be able to get inducted, to be trained well. The students are here, they'll be here with you. The people are watching live from Switzerland and live from South Africa as we start. Now from here, this thing will move very, very quickly from one university to another, from one university to another. We are going to work together with the Absa Bank. In fact, because Absa Bank and the first on board, every business, because you'll be required to open an account as part of our training and part of compliance, that those accounts must go to Absa Bank in every university, because you are with us here. All the other banks, they are late. You should see value ahead. Now kimbie, our mekimbia. I assure you, you are going to get within the next 1 year over 7,000 or 8,000 accounts that will come to you, that are bankable, that will be bringing revenue. It will be a huge thing. Is that okay? Now I want, as the patron of Project Member seated, celebrate them. I want to thank the university. I want to thank Mr. Oscar Waswa. Where is he? Yeah. This man has worked very hard to ensure that we have this occasion today. We shall continue to work with him. Every year we shall be having this summit here with different guests. Some of them are going to be the same because we are going to be partnering with the Wabebe XP. Is that to celebrate Wabebe? Wabebe! I don't know. Please, you'll have to give me something to drink after saying that in that voice. The face of this whole project across all the universities and middle-level colleges of Kenya is going to be Ferdinand Omanyala, because he's a university student. He's a current university student, and he's also somebody who is in sports and is in business, so he qualifies through across all the board. You'll be going to be seeing Anjogu very, very often, because you'll be traveling around with her. Ndio aongeze beauty into all these black dark faces that you are seeing around. Sema beauty with brains. No. Nataka utufungie, utuombe. Ndio sasa tuende. I love you, sir. You have done well. The other projects that we're doing here in Mmust. Niseme ama nisiseme? Niseme. Kuna project yenye tunafanya hapa, mimi kama